Live scores, updates, analysis, backstories, historical background, statistics. Let me say that again. Statistics. If you want the lineup, we have it. And everything else that comes with it. As always, we are live on 97.3 City FM on radio. Also live on Channel 1 TV. We are live on X or Twitter at 97.3 City FM. We are also live on YouTube at City Sports GH. Welcome to my YouTube community. Like I always say, hit the like and subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell another friend that the Republic of Football is live. Sedi, I'm Edmond is here. Sedi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Nimli will be joining us in a bit. Kwache will join us in a bit as well. We are observing the final stages of early kickoff, which is the Man United versus Spurs game. United still holding on to a 1-0 lead, I believe. Thoughts on that really before we get into anything?
Well, good afternoon to everybody doing the listening and also watching at home and from wherever you're catching the transmission. But Manchester United are literally doing the most. They are back from the dead. The trenches was not a happy place for them. They are back, and now they are actually second in the table if this result ends this particular way. But a lot of things are also happening when you check the table. But Manchester United, would have played 11 games, would have won 6 games, and that goes to show that they are doing a lot this season, despite the fact they not having a big goal advantage. They've scored 18, conceded 16. That means they are still conceding, but it's still well and good. Okay, so now there has been an equalizer. Matthias Tel has decided to put my analysis in the bin for 10 seconds.
Glory be to God. 1-1 it is at the Tottenham Stadium, and this is how I like it. This is how I like the show to go. Yeah. Live updates to report to our various listeners, viewers, and everybody else doing the engaging. We love it. Just as we went on, or just as we've come on, Spurs taking the action from the wings. Matthias Tel, good first touch or brilliant finish. Trapped the ball with his left foot, finished it with his right before the defense could react. Lomans was in no man's land. He actually tried to flap at it, but too much power, too much accuracy. That's a good goal. Yeah. In a game where Spurs were utterly drab in that first half. We'll have the lineups of the two teams for you in a second. So if we can have it, we'll have the starting lineups for you in a bit for these two teams. But said the comments on the goal we've just seen. United conceding late. Remember, they drew their last game coming into this one. Now they've conceded a late goal here as well.
Well, I feel that Spurs would say they deserve it because they are playing at home. But again, like you said, the first half was something they would really not want to remember. I think the entirety of the first half, there are 2 forwards in the game, barely had a touch. A touch that was had was by Richarlison. That was sort of a header towards goal, but it did not materialize. For second half, they to get this particular sequence to end in a goal. For Spurs, they hardly create chances from open play as well. Hardly do they create chances from open play.
If it's not a dead ball, it's a Kudus cross. Maybe.
Yes, and then Kudus is literally missing in the lineup and in the starting lineup as well. So it's been difficult for them. But
big chance. Oh
wow. Is that Shesko?
I think so.
Wow.
I thought that should have been 2-1.
Wow.
That was a huge opportunity. I don't like that smile. That was a huge opportunity. I thought that should have been 2-1. He was basically one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
He was sleeping on the job.
Now he's, I don't know if he's injured, but
no. We will not take that from him today. No. Because there was literally, he had the ball, was running at the goalkeeper, and allowed the Spurs defense to catch up with him and then just nick the ball from
That
his
was
front.
too slow from him. I'm not sure.
Exactly.
I want to see a replay of that again, because that should have been goal number 2 for United. He took multiple touches, I think, and then the chance was gone before he could actually react.
Wow.
Incredulous. So this is the play again.
He takes off.
He's running. I don't know what happened there, honestly.
No,
I don't know what happened there. One, I think the first touch was poor, so the ball kind of went away from him, and then from there he was playing catch up, but he looks like he's injured himself. Even worse, he's injured himself. I don't know.
How does he do that?
Normally, some of these things, it is, from what we have seen, it's not necessarily a contact.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with the turf. I don't know. That was
Wicked
such
deflection.
that was a really good goal. The first touch, good.
Oh boy, that was a wicked deflection.
I need to see his reaction to this.
Again.
Ruben Amorim on the touchline, just squatting on the touchline, almost as if he could see the goal coming from like 5 seconds away. You could see the expression on his face. But Coach Christopher Nimley has just joined us. Coach, a very interesting game. KG, not the most exciting game, but United took the lead in the first half. Spurs equalized just a couple of minutes ago, and United could have taken the lead again, but it still stands at 1-1. Big chance missed. Looks like Šeško is in some discomfort as well. Quick thoughts.
Yeah, like I'm saying, what a way to concede, or what a time to concede. Took the lead, protected the lead very well, tactically brilliant on whatever they were doing. A complete switch off. Normally, the coach highlighted the cross into the box. Again, this was not an area cross. It was a more like a cutback. And you want to ask yourself, where were the marking? Delete, yes, did well, but he shouldn't have allowed him to turn. I'm not sure Šeško can continue, because from the way he's going out. That is a huge blow. I'm sure he might have just twisted something, because once he's taking the first touch, the defender, that was the Dutch boy, isn't it? Yeah, he's very good on the recovery. He's very, very good on the recovery. Very, very good. I think where we are now, whoever scores it will win it.
But this is an interesting game. I thought that Spurs, or I feel they've lacked creativity, like Sedi mentioned. One of the few times that they ventured forward with what looked like a clear plan in mind on what to do in the final third. They got something out of this one, and it looks like you rightly said, whoever plays their cards well, they can get a second, because it looks like it's far from over. I'm sure we get like close to 6 or 7 minutes of time added on in a game like this, so it should be interesting. Let me say hi to the YouTube community. Big shout outs to Elsid Josiah. Redeemer Selom says he's getting to us from Virginia, so shout outs to you, and shout outs to the people in Virginia. That's why he has Felix says that he's the first to comment, so go Man United. Akomia Eldad says Inuanum Akwaba. Elsid says, Ben, that Al Nassr jersey is that be Al Nassr jersey, and exactly it is an Al Nassr jersey branded the Republic of Football, and it's CR7, nothing else and nobody else but the greatest of all time. If you don't understand, go and argue with your wardrobe. I'm not arguing with you this afternoon. Nimley is looking like he wants to counter, but I don't care.
No, I'm not countering.
He's concentrating on you. Concentrate on getting your 3 points, because your 4 games of fame have come to an end.
No, it's not come to an end. It's still an unbeaten run.
Try and get a win out of this, because it's interesting. A couple more games to come in the PL as far as today batch of matches are concerned, but Brian Mbeumo has been in some really rich form. He scored that United goal, a header. It was to give United the early lead in this game, but it looks like he will have to dig deeper. Mateus Cunha probably will have to also dig deeper if United will get anything out of this. But
I think he has been substituted.
Yeah, there's Everton, Fulham to come. There's West Ham, Burnley, Sunderland play Arsenal in what should be a good game, and then there's Chelsea Wolves to wrap up the day. So a lot to come. We have a corner kick on our hands, so let's walk through that real quick. Any quick thoughts on Thomas Frank? A lot of people are beginning to raise eyebrows at him as Spurs boss. I think.
Oh,
we
what
have
a goal.
second goal. Oh, don't take your shirt off. So Richarlison trying to take his shirt off. His teammates were trying to restrain him. In the end, they didn't succeed. He's taking the shirt off. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. If he's not getting sent off or he doesn't have a suspension.
No, not getting sent off.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's a suspension also because he's been out injured.
That's a huge goal, and that's a blinder.
Wow.
A killer from the edge of the box. Coach's angle, the place he calls the edge of the box. I don't know. Stand there, pick your spot, and that's exactly what the Brazilian. They said he thoughts on that goal. Brilliant stuff.
Well, I again, Manchester United, after conceding the goal, now started sitting back and allowing pressure, inviting pressure. Coach mentioned something that the cutback, but this one you need to add crosses to it as well.
He's trying to watch the goal again to see where the faults are. So from the header,
now bends it.
That is such a good goal.
Oh, okay. Okay. It could have been offside if Ugarte was a step ahead of him, but Ugarte played him onside, so it's.
He got a touch to it.
Yes. So Ugarte, thanks to Ugarte, the goal stand. He was really behind it. Wow.
That is such an interesting plot twist to this whole game.
That's a very difficult defeat to take.
Yeah.
If you look at the fact that they've led.
No, game not over yet.
No. I don't see how they are going to come back from this, because at the end of the day, it's almost 4 minutes to the end of the game. You could see Bruno Fernandes's reaction to it. It's a bit tough, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a bit tough. So clearly, obviously, Spurs will now coil back into a defensive shape and make sure that it's a bit difficult.
How do you feel, or what do you feel should have been done better in that situation from a defending point of view, from Man United's standpoint?
I think it is very difficult to say, because at the end of the day, what the first ball was properly defended.
Yeah.
And if you look at the header was such that it had covered it took the ball out of the box. Now, as to why the closing down,
because he had acres
of space to control the ball and then to pick a spot. I think that was where the problem was. And at the end of the day, you don't fault the goalkeeper. He didn't see that at all. No goalkeeper stops that from entering to the net. But that's what I'm saying, that it's a very difficult way to lose a game that you had controlled for almost close to 80 minutes, 80 something minutes. And then you concede, and then you concede again. That is something that Ruben Amorim and the entire playing body will have to look at.
It was like 2 goals in less than 10 minutes.
Last week, again, they conceded 2 goals in 3 minutes. Today, again, they've conceded 2 goals in virtually the same time.
Yeah. Let me just check the goal. The time interval between
84 and then 90 plus 1. That give you
about 6-7
minutes.
Yeah. Wow. And Spurs are still on the front foot, trying to probably get a security goal to lock this one up. But Spurs say no kudos, no problem. United look like they want to make a fight of it, but this has been such a good end to this game. I mean, based on where you stand, referees getting in the way of the action. Players must be upset. I reckon he adds about 2 more minutes to this game. So this is the Republic of Football. We are just winding down on early kickoff between Tottenham Hotspur and Man United. United held the lead for really long spells in this game through Bayern and Bermo. And then in the 82nd minute, I think 84th minute, they let in an equalizer. And then Richarlison has just given Spurs the lead in the 91st minute. So looking like what will be a Tottenham Hotspur win, unless we have a miracle goal. United have a dead ball, a corner to finish. Steady thoughts on the conclusion of this.
Well, now that's set. Lehmann is up for it.
It's almost time. After all, they are losing, so
nothing to lose.
There's nothing to lose.
Wow,
he's a big guy. I'm just noticing him for the first time. He's a pretty tall goalkeeper.
Wow, it could be very interesting. An end swinger, for that matter. Spurs have always struggled.
Are you kidding me? I told you this game was not over. Are you kidding me?
Matisse delete.
Are you kidding?
Yes, it is what it is.
It's 2-2.
That is the character you want to
Matthias
see.
delete with literally
That
the
is the
last
character.
action of the game.
That is the character you want to see.
It's 2-2.
That is the character you want to see.
Richarlison just took his shirt off for nothing right now. That celebration is looking ridiculous right now. Wow.
That is what you want to see.
No, I need to see this again.
That is what you want to
It's
see.
2-2.
Properly. Then he came back all the way.
It's 2-2.
Inside the net. He's in.
Yeah.
He's in.
I can't believe this. With literally the final action of the game, Matthias de Ligt has equalized for Manchester United. It's 2-2.
But credit needs to go to Bruno Fernandes for an exceptionally delivered cross.
Yeah.
Yes,
Look,
that's
it
beautiful.
would have been extremely difficult to take. Because like I said, they led for, up to the 84th minute.
Yeah.
They led.
Wow, what a game.
For Spurs, they should be thanking their God, actually. Reason being that the goal scorers, and in fact, those who participated in the goal, 4 of them, there are 4, but only 1 started the game. The 3 came from the bench to actually, change the face of the game. Udogi came from the bench, Odebe came from the bench, and then Matthias Tel also came from the bench. So they really need to thank their stars for at least walking away with a point, knowing how they have also been bad at home. If Newcastle have been terrible away, Spurs have been also bad at home. That's has been their run. And as it stands now, it's very interesting again on the table. I keep looking at the table and I keep seeing a lot of interesting movements,
Ups and downs.
It's really pretty. And
Wow.
with
What a game. So we've had 3 goals scored in the last
5 minutes, 10 minutes?
About 8-7 minutes window of this game to conclude. A game that looked like it was going to end 1-0 eventually became 1-1, 2-1, and I said there was probably a final plot twist. Nimli said, nah, they can't do nothing about it. 2-2. Wow, what a game. Big show of character, I think, from Manchester United, because I thought that really was much done and dusted. Coach, let's go through this game properly.
This is what you want to see.
Yeah.
This is more like a Manchester United character. I listened to Amorim where he said boldly that this team, he believes, is beginning to develop some character, and never say die character. And if this is not the way to show it, where do you show it? Last week, they led, they got pegged back. By the 85th, 86th minute, they were losing the game. Ahmad rescued it. They nearly won it when there was a goal line clearance from the Nottingham Forest defender. A week later, they led, they got pegged back in the 84th minute, 86th minute. They went down in the 90th plus minute. They had only 2 minutes to play. And they've come back and they've rescued it. This marks an end to some difficult line of games. Don't forget, along that line, they had to play Sunderland,
Play Liverpool,
who's doing very well in the league, Liverpool, and then they played. There was a third win, Brighton,
Brighton,
and then drew. So out of a possible 15 points, they had how many? 3 wins, 2 draws. 11 out of a possible 15. That is a good. You take that if you are a manager. You take that if you are a manager. Out of your last 5 games, that had Brighton had beaten United 4 times in their last 5 games. Liverpool had beaten United in 9 seasons. Man United have had only 2 draws at Anfield, and then of course Spurs last season met United 4 times, beat them 4 times. So if you were to tell Ruben Amorim, you are not expected to win the league. You are expected to compete for top 4. If I give you 11 out of 15 points, would you take it?
I would.
Said, would you take it?
I would.
I would take it all day.
I would.
I would take it all day.
Yeah.
And I think this is a massive. You can see the appreciation on behalf of the players. They've been asked to go and speak with the team. I think the only difficult aspect here is the injury to Benjamin Sesko.
Yeah.
You just hope that it is not something serious, because it wasn't. And luckily, he was able to walk. Maybe I'm sure it is just a strain that will be sorted out. Don't forget, there's the international break
coming
so
up,
in a week or 2 time, he should be ready and he should be prepared to go.
Look at these Tottenham players.
They thought they had won it.
Richarlison is.
They thought they had won it.
It was just funny when they were trying to restrain him from removing his jersey. He said,
They
"No,
thought they
way.
had won it.
I've won the game. I've won the game. Let me take my jersey off."
And again, this highlight the lack of concentration on the part of Spurs. That Richarlison jubilation or celebration, and the fact that he got everybody in and around him, the entire team jubilating, including even the technical bench.
Yep.
You saw their overreaction.
Yeah.
They reacted in the way that meant that they've already
This
won
time
the
they
game.
won.
And I'm a bit disappointed in them, because they should know that they are most vulnerable just after scoring. Because
I mean,
clearly,
I'm sure they looked at the time and was like,
but
"This is a wrap. The game is not over until it's
and
really
if
over."
you look at the corner kick, Delete did a run sideways, forward, check, and then came back just to make sure he's able to meet the trajectory or the flight of the ball.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a never say die attitude. This is what you are used to if you're a Manchester United fan, and it is very clear that there are some good things that are cooking. 11 out of a possible 15 in your last game, I will take it all day.
Good things cooking. Let me take Kwate's thoughts on the game and how it's ended. Dramatic 2-2 draw. I didn't see this ending 2-2. I at least thought it was 1-1. But who takes the spoils? Who feels more disappointed? Who feels like a winner in this scenario?
It's hard to tell, mainly because of Spurs, the way they came back in the game. So with the 2 late goals from Tel, and I think they will probably feel like they'll probably feel hard done by. I think they'll feel like they had the momentum in the game, and at the last minute they let it slip away. So I think that'll be a problem for them. In terms of United, I think, like Coach is saying, it'll be easy to look at it from a negative point of view. But if you look at the fact that this was a team that wasn't in good form at all, and now all of a sudden they've gone 5 games unbeaten in the league, I think that's a positive for them. Amorim he's looking more and more less shaky. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's just the optics. But now that he's not under pressure, some of the things he's doing are actually looking like master strokes and not like moves out of desperation. That makes sense. So
the game is interesting.
Yeah. So, but for Spurs to, I think this just continues the positive start to the season. I think they should have been able to try their best to hold on, because I think conceding a goal in the last minute, regardless of how you came to take the lead, I don't think that should be acceptable as a coach, especially from a set piece. You know how coaches feel about conceding from set pieces. So to end up drawing the game in that way, I think he'll be quite disappointed. But I also think that because of how they were able to come back to the game, and in a sense, both of them showed resilience, even though they lost in the end. I think both of them showed resilience. And in the end, I think a draw is a fair result. The only thing is, looking at the table now, I think the gap between Arsenal and Man City is 6 points. And the gap from City all the way to Brighton in 10th is only 4 points. Obviously, I think City haven't played this weekend, so if City win, that could go to 7 points. But then if Brighton also win, that stays within 4 points. And I think it's just showing about, with Arsenal's consistency, they are sort of pulling themselves away from the league. And everyone else seems to be stuck in this sort of middle ground where it might become very competitive for sports, especially if it goes to the Champions League and all that. But just in terms of United, I think they should just continue to build on the positivity and the different energy since this run started for them.
So Man United to continue building on the positivity. Let me just announce the text lines and come to you. 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Send us your thoughts. United fans, YouTube, comments on X and also Channel 1 TV. Coach, quick thoughts on this one. Let me get to you on...
I was going to say that if you are a United fan, after feeling very disappointed at the edge or at the verge of losing the game, you can only console yourself with that Delete header. Because I came in, I was outside when I got to know that Spurs are equalized. I walked in, I sat down. Barely after my first statement, they had scored again. And you could imagine how difficult that was to take. You were even saying that anything. I was of the view that, come on, I don't see them coming back.
It could be a penalty, could be anything. Controversy,
and at the time, can we listen to Delete?
Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
Let's see if we can listen
we
to
do that on Sunday.
Delete, if he's sharing a few post-game thoughts. Let's get through that.
He's a very lucky boy this afternoon.
You should have been sent off.
No, I feel he's culpable for the second goal. The first one, actually.
No, you see,
I think it's a little bit lucky. I blocked the ball, it goes in. It's a difficult situation. I'm a little bit upset about that, but in the end, I'm really proud of the team, how we fought back, and in the end, get a point in a quite a difficult stadium.
Look, were you a little bit shell-shocked to go 2-1 down, that Richarlison goal, and then you've got a couple of minutes, but what does that show about this United that you still found a way?
Well, I think it's the same as last week. I mean, last year we lost against Forest 1-0. Last season we lost against Tottenham 1-0. And today and also last week you see that we still have the fire in our belly to get a point, to get a goal, even with 10 men. And that way I'm really proud of the team. And the season is long, so in the end, if you don't lose these kind of games, it's always more important than how to say. Drawing is more important than losing, so it's fine.
Well, look, it's 5 unbeaten now this season for you guys under Amorim. What has been the turning point?
Well, I think also today you saw we are really dangerous for opponents. I mean, we have a lot of speed in the front. We're really stable. We know our strengths also well. We utilize them also well. I think today even we had a lot of more opportunities to get in behind them because they are vulnerable in this. But I think we played a good game, and I think we could deserve a little bit more.
Thanks so much for talking to us. Thank you.
Matthias Delete says that Man United have turned the corner, or at least one of the key factors in turning the corner is believing in themselves more and knowing what their strengths are as a team. He also highlights something Coach was just talking about, that last season they lost to Forest by 1-0. This season they got a draw out of that. They lost to Spurs as well. They've gotten a draw out of that. So it might seem like little progress, but it is some level of progress. Yes.
Watch him forward, check, and then back again. You see that's
some great anticipation.
Proper movement.
Yeah.
He was going this
literally
way,
had his eye on the ball the whole time.
Yes.
Yeah. And everybody else, it seemed to miss everybody else. Yeah. Looks like something out of the training ground.
I mean,
long corner to the far post.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a Harry Maguire trademark. If
Maguire, he doesn't move like that. Whether you be there waiting for this. But this one, the sort of movement. Watch the movement.
Don't talk about Lord Maguire. Don't talk about Lord Maguire like that. Lord
I'm
Maguire is dangerous
in
final moments.
He's a decent threat. Don't get me wrong. He's a decent threat. And again, another thing that is very disappointing on that header.
Yeah.
There was no Casemiro.
Yeah.
There was no Shesko. There was the only two proper headers of the ball of United were Delete and Yoro. So you see how disappointing it is. If you are a Spurs coach or if you are a Spurs manager, where was the marking on those two? And you could clearly see that the ball went over Yoro and Delete because of his, how do you call it, triple movement forward, this, that. I mean, I think that was so brilliant. That is a striker's movement.
Yeah. Look at we're getting a replay of the Matisse Tel goal again.
Boy.
That first half was good.
That was a wicked deflection.
Yeah.
But for the deflection, I think Loma would have just fisted it out just like that.
I'm disappointed in this
proper defensive shape.
I'm disappointed in the Spurs defense, but that's the conversation for another time.
Yeah, man.
In how they've conceded the goals today. So there you have it.
Couldn't Bruno have done more? Or you don't think?
No, not Bruno. Not Bruno. He was a bit far. You see, Luke Shaw should have doubled up in closing. He should have stepped forward.
Yeah.
In closing.
Yeah, allowed him to take a first touch that took the ball away from him.
Yeah.
Allowed him to turn as well. So
maybe Matisse Delit's problem where he was too close.
Yeah.
So he allowed the player to use him to 10. That was too close.
Yep. So there you have it. Spurs and United splitting points 2-2 is how this game has ended. Somebody says Benjamin Tesco should have scored. Why are you calling him Benjamin Tesco?
Now you see the
Calvinio.
pass. That pass needed a touch before hitting.
Yeah.
Because the pass wasn't that straight in front of him on goal. So he needed. But what you want to do was to credit the defender. And Spurs themselves were very lucky. Now there you go again. I think he did the header. So now
his first touch was poor, and then the ball was going
I
away
think the
from
first
him.
touch, the movement was good.
He
The
takes
first-
off beautifully,
No.
but
The defender
and
closed
again,
him down
it's Van de
quickly.
Ven. So
He
we have
closed
to-
him down very
his speed,
quickly.
His speed to close him
Yep.
down was
Yep.
definitely gave him less time.
I think Sesko felt like he thought he had more time than he actually did.
Yeah, but then
and I
Van
think
Dijk
and I
was-
think another reason why he didn't finish it one time, the weight of the pass wasn't proper. I think the pass was good, but it lacked the proper weight, because technically the weight should have been such that he should put the ball in front of him
yeah.
for his first touch to allow him to strike the ball.
Yeah.
But once the ball, you saw that he had to drag the ball in his flight or whatever he was doing, movement, so that he would be able to strike. But look at it, you see the ball. Look at it, you see.
Yeah.
He needed, if the ball had gone, because he can also strike the ball with his left foot. If the pace was good, that would have been a one-time strike. I'm wondering where the injury is coming from.
I think he might have kicked the grass or
Yeah,
something
maybe.
in the process of running. Those
I'm
things,
not sure it's anything
those things
serious.
are not
At least it
too
wasn't
great
too-
for your knees.
Yeah.
If you are running at full speed and you turn all of a sudden, those
Yeah.
things can be a little problematic,
Yeah,
especially for
yeah,
players like
yeah.
that. But I just hope it's nothing serious, because he looked a little worried.
Yeah.
Nketia, I think I'm very impressed with the Man United goalkeeper. You see, unlike previously, where every goal conceded, about 60 to 70
mistake.
was a mistake by a goalkeeper. The goals the young man is conceding, you cannot fault him for any of them. Even this one, had it not been for the Richarlison deflection,
he was going to catch it.
he was going to deal with it. Okay, his positioning, his organization, his control of his box is very, very proper. And like I've said, yes, he conceded 2 goals today, and since he came in as number 1, he's kept only 1 clean sheet.
Yeah.
He considered against Liverpool, you don't fault him for that. The 2 goals he considered against Nottingham Forest, you don't fault him for that. These 2 goals, you don't fault him for that. It is clear that if the team can keep some form of solid defensive organization, but these are quality opposition. Liverpool, Brighton, and then of course Spurs. Look, Spurs on their day can worry. They've got good depth. This Spurs team have depth.
Well, coach, a couple of them are injured.
Yeah, again.
A lot of them actually. They've got 10 people out on injury.
Spurs.
And stay. Look at the quality of the team they can put forward.
So they have Bergvall out with an injury, I believe.
Bergvall,
Kudus.
Kudus couldn't make it. There is
Yeah.
Madison. There is Kulisevsky. These are
Solanke.
These are
So
all potential
they've got
starters
depth.
if they play.
they've got serious depth.
So this
Despite all these injuries, look at
Yeah.
the team they could field. A team that had the likes of Kolo Mwani, Richarlison,
Matisse, Tel.
Johnson,
a
Tel.
good team.
They have a good team.
Man United are up to 7th on the table following this draw. Spurs are up to 3rd.
They also
on
have
the table.
18 points.
Yes, Spurs have 18 points now. United also have 18 points. So Spurs are 3rd on 18.
So you see-
United are 7th on 18.
I just saw on the screen the games I've highlighted.
Yeah,
Out of a possible 15,
yeah.
they've taken 11 points from 15. They won 3, drew 2.
Decent
That is
return.
11.
Decent return.
It's a decent return
Yeah.
for a team that is hoping to make Champions League football.
A team
This is what you should
a
be
team
doing.
that is a title contender. Don Perry,
No, but how can a team that plays 15th all of a sudden from
the
nowhere?
team in
Then
question,
the league would have been a
the
very
team in
porous
question
league.
is Manchester United.
The Manchester that have been struggling for the
No,
past
as for
10
me,
to
as
11
for me,
years.
I don't care about that.
No.
When I think about Man United, I think about
watch
a
the
traditional team
movement.
that is a big club.
Watch
Comes
the
back.
movement. He comes.
Stops.
No, he didn't even go. He goes forward and
Goes
then he
to the
comes
side,
back.
stops, and then comes
Oh
back. And then,
boy.
That's such a good. The goalkeeper should have done better.
No. By the time he got to the ball, he was catching the ball from within. The ball had already crossed.
I think the goalkeeper should have stepped out earlier.
Yeah, I think
if
Matisse
if the lead had the time to check back in the whole triangle, I mean, come on, what are you doing? Come on. And especially the ball beat him he was standing at his far post. The ball beat him at his far post.
Yeah.
He didn't have to dive. He was literally standing there. It was a good header, don't get me wrong, but I think the goalkeeper should be doing better. He's literally buried under the bar when the ball comes in, so he can't even punch the ball out.
No. If he by the time the ball got to him, it was already
and the header was so powerful that he couldn't even keep it out. I don't know.
No, but for
but I think he could have done better.
For the Lit to be backpedaling,
exactly. Check
jump,
back, go this way. Come on, man.
Generate such power.
Yeah, come on. You should do better. I think you should have done better.
I think Matej De Ligt himself should be scoring more.
Well,
from set piece, because he's a very powerful player. He's not that big, like not very tall. He stands with Maguire. Maguire is taller than him, but he's got that. Yes,
he looks like a pretty big guy to me.
Yeah, but Harry Maguire is taller than him, but he's got that leap. He can jump, and that was what we saw. And I think the fact that he moved the way he did just to make sure he got to the ball, I mean, speaks volumes of his quality. And I can sincerely, without a doubt, predict that he should be looked at as the next captain after Bruno Fernandes.
Just on Spurs, I think they're having a problem with their striker. Solanke's injury, hasn't really been explained, but it seems long term. It seems like he keeps saying that he'll be back soon, but he hasn't been able to compete to the team. And even Solanke, I don't think he rates him, Frank. And he's based on the selection he's made since he came. Kolo Muani he's a good. He's 26. He's not a prospect anymore.
He's an Eka striker. Oh no, Eka Kitty. You'll be saying that with Kolo Muani until the game ends. Eka Kitty. That's Kolo Muani.
I think this is his last chance to end and move to a decent football club. Because if Spurs were to turn this down and decide and opt against making the move a permanent move, and he has to go back to PSG, clearly Luis Enrique doesn't fancy him. And that is a long-term project, and Enrique doesn't look like a coach who will be leaving anytime soon. You look at Kolo Muani, ask yourself,
you know the thing,
he's been in Italy.
I think Kolo Muani is being misprofiled. You know, when I watched him I first properly saw him with France under Didier Deschamps, and the best version of him I've seen is on the wings. It's when he's either running from the left or running from the right. He can probably outpace almost every fullback there is. His finishing is not great because his composure is not great. So I think the best versions of him I have seen have always been on the wings. When Didier Deschamps introduced him first into that team, I think it was the World Cup, the same World Cup he eventually ended up missing there. He was really great. I think 2 games before, he had come in, played great, like gotten his opportunities. He can play as a number 9, don't get me wrong, but I don't think his finishing is good enough. And I feel like people give him a lot of stick for it, but he is more winger and inside forward for me than actual number 9. I don't know. That's just.
He has versatility. He can play across the front line, which I think is good for them. But just in terms of Spurs, it hasn't worked yet for him. I think he's 26, 27. Like you said, he's on a.
How many games has he played? He's not played too many games.
Played too many games. But I'm starting to be. There are certain clubs I think more other clubs should be aware of. I think Benfica is one of them. If they have a player for 120 million, I think you should be a little wary of it now. So, except for João Neves, I think he's done well at PSG. But even him, and Frankfurt are getting this reputation with strikers all the way back from Jovic, Modest. Ekitike is doing well, but they have so many players who seem to move on from their club and they're not able to replicate the form that they were showing at other places. And Richarlison is just a streaky striker. He scores 3 games in a row. He doesn't score for a long period. He scores 2 games in a row, and it's a positive when you're winning, but sometimes you can get quite emotional during the drought. I think his mental space is also very important in the way he plays the game, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. You can clearly tell when he's upset, when he's excited.
Who's this called?
Richarlison. And for someone who is very streaky, I don't think Spurs can rely on him throughout the whole season. It's good to see Tell in good form, but I'm not sure if he can lead the line for them. So to have this many options but still not have been able to properly replace Harry Kane in a sense, because they haven't had a proper striker since he left, I think it will always affect the way they're able to attack.
So good stuff, good stuff. Tottenham Hotspur, let's close out that game. Spurs joined 2-2 with Man United, splitting points. I've told you where it's ended for both of them on the table.
These are games that Man United will look to win in the
second round.
In the second round. Right now, Old Trafford is looking more like a fortress now. Since they lost to Arsenal,
let's go.
They've won every game at Old Trafford.
Let's bring
and
it home.
That is what you need to do if you want to regain Champions League football. You need to win your home games. And I think so far, Old Trafford has been the place to do.
Champions League football.
You see, Old Trafford is a fortress, so that's where the title must be lifted.
No. To win the title, you need to win some decent games away from home. Every team that have won the league has not won so solely on home form. You need to go on the road. But of course, again, last year, Man United would have lost this game.
Yeah.
Last year, they would have lost
True.
against Nottingham Forest.
True.
Okay? So these are positives. That you want to build upon.
Well, there's Everton Fulham to come in a bit. We'll give you the lineup of that game. I like watching Fulham Football Club play football. But could touch on one thing for me. I feel like teams are conceding a lot more. We made it an Arsenal-centered conversation in the beginning, but teams are conceding a lot of corner kicks this season. I've seen it in Liverpool games. I've seen it in Chelsea games. I've seen it across board. What's going on? What could be the trend?
I don't know, but it's a bit disappointing. Like I said, I, as a coach, I enjoy it when my team scores from set piece, but I dislike it completely. I've always been of the view that teams are supposed to defend better. Look at the goal that United used to equalize.
Yeah.
If you are a Spurs and you look at the outfit players of Man United, who were they?
Nobody was checking the lead.
They
He had the chance to literally.
Mason Mount,
Yeah.
Luke Shaw, Ugarte, Amat, Mbeumo. Bruno was the one taking the kick.
Yeah.
And then there was what? Euro and Delete. In my view, per those
They
out
should
there,
have been doing better.
it's only Euro and Delete that are capable of heading the ball into the back of the net from a set piece. As to look at the Spurs' team, there was Richarlison, there was the Dutch defender. They had their two fullbacks. I've forgotten their name.
Udogie was in there as well.
Udogie, there was Sarr.
Yeah.
Okay,
They are all pretty tall
they
players.
are pretty tall players.
Yep.
So what were they thinking? Let me say that maybe Man United through
I think they were.
Le Mans.
I think they were sleeping. That's
what I'm saying.
They took their eyes.
And it's unacceptable.
They lost focus because, like
It's
we're saying,
unacceptable.
the more I watch that leaked sequence, the more it's like, how does a player have the
freedom
opportunity
to
do that
do
full
that?
triangle? Come on. Nobody checking him. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Nobody gave him a body check to feel he had daylight to do what he
do what he wanted. So
I don't
again,
think that was good enough.
I'm of the view that the defending is very poor. So you remember, I've tried
Yeah.
hard not to credit Arsenal. I've rather discredited the defending team because I think they should be able to deal with it better. Don't get me wrong, Arsenal deserves every praise. But as a technical man, if I'm analyzing the situation, I look at the defending because before I look at how good they are on set piece. What is the quality of the defending? Is the defending making it too easy for them to do?
Yeah.
To score? Then we need to fix that. If the defending is spot on and yes, still they are able to find a way to put the ball in the net from a set piece, then I'll turn and begin to credit them. And my credit will be beyond measure. But here is the case where I just highlighted the Man United situation. How did the Spurs players not know that Delete and Euro were the only obvious target?
Disappointing.
So one person blocking him off. Just all they needed to do was
Man
to block
mark
him
him.
off.
Oh,
Man
man
and
with
block
man.
him off.
Yeah.
If they had blocked him off, 3 points in the bag.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Poor defending.
Very, very poor defending. So yes, so like you rightly said, teams are conceding way too much goals from set pieces.
Yeah.
And I believe that the tactical explanation to that is the quality of the defending on set pieces has been very, very poor. And the set piece coaches, and look, believe you me, all these teams too have got set pieces coach.
Yep.
And I don't think being a set piece coach is just to teach your team how to score from a set piece and don't teach them how to defend from a set piece.
Facts.
There has to be a balance between the two. And so far, on the face of what we have witnessed, the defending on set piece has been completely very poor and unacceptable.
Let me go through a few updates from games that are happening around Europe, and then we'll come back to the Premier League to get into the 3 p.m. batch. So there's Lecce versus Hellas Verona happening. It's half time, and there's goalless in that game. Como also up against Cagliari. It's time added on. Almost half time in that game is goalless as well. Juventus and Torino to come a little later. Parma and AC Milan as well, also later. When you go to Germany, Union Berlin are up against Bayern. It's 21 minutes played, is goalless in that game. Hoffenheim are up against Leipzig. It's 1-1 between those two. And then there's Bayer Leverkusen also taking on Heidenheim. It's 2-0 advantage Bayer Leverkusen. When you go to Spain, there's Girona versus Deportivo Alaves currently happening. Girona lead Alaves by a goal to nil. It's almost game over and now 90+3 as we speak. So we'll see with that one. If you look at the big games today for La Liga, no really big team play. Atletico Madrid will be upset with me, but they are taking on Levante. Sevilla play with Osasuna. Barca and Real Madrid, I believe, play tomorrow. When you go to the live board, let's get to the Premier League games coming up. Let's get to Fulham and their game real quick. Fulham should be a good game against Everton. It's a game I like at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Quick thoughts on that one. David Moyes and Everton Football Club dropped a few points here and there. If you look at the table, Everton are 14th on the table. I believe my table is updated. Yes, they are 14th on the table. Not where I thought they would be based on the Jack Grealish spark and all that was happening. Just snap thoughts going into this game, what they can do, who can give them a spark, and if they can finally shake themselves off Beto's finishing, because Beto, I get nausea every time I see him play, every single time. I don't know. Quick thoughts on that game.
Everton have been impressive. They had really good home form coming into the season. I think when they started at the new stadium, the Hill Dickinson Stadium, they lost to Spurs, I think 3-0. So now that home record is gone. Just in terms of them, I think they are settling into life under David Moyes. I think when he came in initially, there was I don't know whether it was excitement, I don't know whether it was nostalgia, but there was certainly, he brought something back to them that got the team playing really well. And obviously he's had success where he's been. Like, he did really well the second time around at West Ham, winning trophies for them. But I think with Everton, I think with a team that's in, just those teams are in the middle block of the Premier League now, I think your football either has to be good or you have to be competing for Europe in order to keep your fans happy. And I feel like they've just gotten to a place where they're one of those teams where what they want to make sure is that they're safe. They've achieved safety in the Premier League, so that necessarily means that they don't have to go and spend as much money. All they have to do is just keep the squad good enough to keep them competitive. To their credit, they did recruit quite well this summer. I think Tyler Diblin was an interesting one. I haven't seen much of him as I would hope. I thought that because of him and Grealish and Dewsbury Hall and Ndiaye, they had a lot of creativity in an otherwise very I wouldn't say robotic, but like in a very static team.
I think to give David Moyes some grace, so if you look at the fixture list they've had, March week 6 they were playing West Ham, they drew that 1-1, then they played Palace.
Yeah, I mean, that was a last minute winner against Palace. That's
won that
what
game.
Stalled Palace's winning run.
Yeah, and then played back-to-backs against Manchester City, Spurs and Sunderland, all of whom are upper echelon teams in the league. So I think we can give him some grace and say maybe he's had a tough fixture run.
Yeah, but I mean, why are Sunderland in the top 5 and Everton are not? I mean, and that's my point. It's all about the ambition that they have from the start of the season, and I just worry that with clubs like Everton, and I feel like it becomes like Wolves or Southampton. You think you are so comfortable until there's a season when you are not, and then things go. Everton haven't been bad enough to be relegated yet. A lot of other teams even West Ham have been down recently. I think somehow Everton seem to always be able to avoid going down. Grealish has been good for them. I think that's one of the positives. I think the clause in his deal involves him having to say yes. So I think they can offer to recruit him, but the final word goes to him. So he decides whether he wants to stay with Everton or not. I mean, so far it's been good. I feel like he's rediscovering himself. I think he likes to be what they say, the big fish in a small pond. He's especially when you go back to the Aston Villa days, he likes to be the one where a lot of things runs through him, which is positive. But then in a club like this also means that you always be able to have as much of the ball as maybe in a club like City, and it just means that there's a lot of pressure on you to deliver or to make something happen for them. But for them, like I said, based on the fixtures that they've had, I think they've done as well as they could. Now that they have a good run, they play Fulham. After they play Fulham, they play Man United, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, which are also, if you ask me, those are also quite hard-ish fixtures. I feel like that's the thing with the Premier League. If you go through any proper set of runs, unless it's a bottom team like you're playing Wolves consistently, I feel like there's always going to be a hard game in there. But I think just going into this game, I think they'd like to bounce back. They haven't won in 3 games since the victory over Crystal Palace, like I said, and I think they like to bounce back and get back to winning ways at their stadium.
Would like to get back to winning ways at their stadium. Sadie, let me take your thoughts on Fulham. Then let's talk about Everton first. How you felt about the run David Moyes has had. If he should have been getting more out of his games, because Sunderland are new boys in the league and are already up and gunning. Everton look always very exciting on the pitch. You look at them up at the end of the game and it's a draw. It's not 3 points. Are you a little disappointed in where they are? You think that based on everything, they are probably just in the right spot?
Well, seriously, I wish they could have done better, but based on everything, they are just where they sit. It's very good for them. They've played 10 games, and their form is looking like their formation that they normally set out on the pitch. They normally sort of end up playing with some 3 back, 3 midfield, and then looking for 4 people to be floating up front. The 4 people are the ones helping them lose their games. So either they have Grealish or it's down the drain. And for me, you can't build your team around a player who is on loan. That doesn't work. I think they're trying to convince him that this is a project. So you make him feel bad. I think Sunderland were really brave when they gave Xhaka the armband.
You see,
but there are certain things
Grealish will have to take a major salary cut to come and join them. Is he really? I know,
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why they gave the final word to him to decide whether he wants to go to Everton or not.
He's gone. I don't think you stay.
No.
But the thing is, you don't think you stay at Everton?
No. Even if he doesn't go back to Manchester City, I think he'll find a new destination.
Yeah, because Everton.
They'll have to do a lot of convincing.
Yeah,
and I also think that would largely depend on how.
But that's what I'm trying to say. I think he has the experience from Aston Villa when it's a different club, and I think based on the way Everton started the season, maybe you could argue that they thought they had that much, like they could also compete later on in the season, but it looks like it's going to be same old Everton.
Yeah, and I don't think he wants to go back to the Villa days where he has to either do too much heavy lifting for the side. I don't think he wants to do that at this point in his career.
I was surprised by him choosing Everton in the first place. I thought that even like the other time where Spurs were looking for a number 10.
I think he did it because it's a World Cup year coming. He knows that at the end of the day he can't be picky at this point in time. He needs to get a team that values him at a star level quality, where they will play him star level minutes so that he can get in good form in time to go to the World Cup. I think that was a major.
And to be fair, David Moyes has been pleading his case for him. So he hasn't made the squad yet, but every time Moyes keeps insisting that he's in really good form, and he's surprised that Grealish is not in the squad.
There you have it.
But I just worried, like you said, there's the magic players are up there, and we do the hard work, and then we get the ball to them, and then they win the game for us. And it's divided into 2. I mean, Ndiaye has been really good, to be fair. I think he stepped up not necessarily when Grealish has been absent, but I think he's also been more productive. He's also tried to increase his numbers. He's been good from penalties as well for them. And I think that's the thing about clubs like Everton. I think the better players they have more players around them who are willing to sacrifice to work towards a whole team plan. So it depends on how well David Moyes can set them up. But so far they look like they're doing well.
Okay.
They could also do much better, like you said, with the striker. I'm not fully convinced with Barry, the Thierry Barry guy.
Yeah.
And Beto is a single digit striker, which is
terrible.
fine.
He's terrible. I don't know why trying to avoid saying he's terrible. I don't know where. Look, they've been waiting for him to come. They bought him for like 25 or 26 million pounds from Udinese, I believe. They thought he was going to be good. He's not good. I saw him miss some chance in the AFCON qualifiers or the World Cup qualifiers. Man, from about 2 or 3 yards out, and he himself was shocked.
No, but I mean, but he's what they have. Unfortunately, they spent a lot of money on Barry too. I don't know if that was about 40 million. I have to check that, but they've invested around the striking force. But with clubs like this, the problem with them was they had Calvert-Lewin, but Calvert-Lewin was never fit. So he was a quality striker, but they could never really play him. And none of the players they've replaced him with are up to his quality. If that makes sense. So it's just, I don't think they've been able to recruit in that part well. And I think
if you are spending colossal sums of money like that and you are not getting returns, I don't know what you're doing, because I don't know. Like, there are way more efficient strikers for cheap. I don't know what Everton are doing. I don't know who their scouts are. No, I'm serious. I'm very serious about it. I don't know who their scouts are. I don't know who their coaches are. I don't know who's doing the recommending, because like you're saying, you have money to throw around. You've thrown close to 70-80 million around on forwards or strikers in the last 4 or 5 years. So the fact that you have goal scoring problems, that's on you. That's on your scouting. So nobody's going to
I mean, it's a scouting thing, because I don't even Cheng Tosin, back to like those days, they've brought in very
the last
strange recruitment.
Even Calvert-Lewin, when people talk about Calvert-Lewin, I tell them
Ancelotti season.
Calvert-Lewin had like 1.5 good seasons, and that was it. He's never been somebody who's been good like 2 seasons or 3 seasons, and you say, no, that's my guy for guaranteed 15 goals. That's not true.
I mean, but to be fair,
last time Everton had a proper striker was probably Yakubu Aigbeni. Last time
was Lukaku after that.
Okay, Lukaku came in. Lukaku was on loan, no? Or they bought him after that?
No, they bought him and then they sold him to.
Lukaku,
they bought him and they sold him.
I think he was on loan at West Brom and then they bought him
Lukaku
and then sold him to United.
Lukaku was really good. I think they had
excessive money.
They had a run where they had Kevin Mirallas, but he was never really good. Like and he was not really like a pure striker too.
Yeah.
But Lukaku was their last great striker, to be honest, and that's an eternity ago.
But they've had very interesting names.
Yeah.
Some people just come and just
Anichebe.
hold the shirt.
They used to have Victor Anichebe.
In like 5 seasons, one goal.
Oh, Victor Anichebe, so bad. Victor, oh my goodness. You see, he's the reason why I think that parents should persist sometimes with like taking their kids to like get groomed for football, because Anichebe became a pro striker, managed to make it to the Premier League and played for Everton and Stoke. Hey, Charlie, that was so bad. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, but just
is that the Nigeria international there?
Yeah.
He's on the bench of Fulham, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
When he comes in, he does virtually
this
nothing.
This looks like a goal.
Oh, he can't run.
It's Beto. Do you see
that?
that?
He can't run.
That is a goal. That should be a goal.
He couldn't run.
That guy is so
playing
bad.
2 big men up front. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a David Moyes type thing. He likes to put bigger and cross the ball. Unfortunately, they don't cross the ball.
So that's actually Barry. He's been very slow since the game started.
Everton, but they need to.
But and that's the thing. Like these clubs in the middle, I think they have so much money, and it gets lost. Like how much they are spending, the colossal amount of money they're spending, because it's in the Premier League.
They bought Skamaka for some colossal fee. Didn't work out, and then they shipped him back to Italy.
Quick.
I don't understand. Like these are the things. That transfer doesn't look like. Is he on loan or have they really sold him?
No, they sold him.
I think I don't think
their
he
losses
wanted
on
to
him.
stay.
That's crazy. That's just Beto the Onyade, Beto Anichebe now. Everton need to do better, honestly. Let me read a few comments from YouTube. Shout outs to the YouTube community. Joshua Hollow 2, Elsted, Wisdom Hamelo.
Look at him.
Yeah, Calvinio,
not
Sweet Kwame, and the crew Talk Sport GH.
Is Beto in the game?
No, it's Barry. So that's
Barry. It's Barry doing better things.
They look very similar in build.
In physique, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm surprised that he was his replacement for Beto. You would think he would at least go for someone who could offer them a different option, but it's just the same thing in a different
body.
Literally. Yeah, so there he is. There.
You should be using your forehead and turning the ball back to where it came from.
But I think he's much younger than Beto, so maybe there's an experience.
Oh,
he's supposed to learn from Beto.
These are the things I keep saying. When you're on Everton, except you are buying a wonder kid like Wayne Rooney when he first broke onto the scene, you don't have the luxury of trying to buy and sell for big money. You need to buy now and make. Yeah, I mean, if you have even a 28-year-old striker who can give you 2 prolific seasons, you can still sell him for good money to another club. They just need to get their business model right. I feel like there's been a lot of upheaval at Everton. First of all, oligarch, Usmanov getting into trouble over Putin and Abramovich's shenanigans, and then they tried to sell to 777 partners. I think that deal fell through. They've had to bring in new investors. There's been a lot of boardroom turbulence at Everton. I don't know if that's what's contributed to the type of recruitments they've been making, because even their midfield itself, I think, needs a little bit of a retool. Ghana Gay has been playing football for like 200 years. I'm not sure. Oh, true. I'm serious.
Did he go to Saudi? Was it Saudi or Qatar that he went to and came back?
No, I think
it was PSG.
He went to PSG and came back.
Just PSG.
Yeah. Okay. It was a quick turnaround.
Ghana Gay has been playing football like 200
I think he played
years.
like 2-3 seasons at PSG, and then he came back.
It was cash out season.
It's crazy for me how he's still performing at a high level, because he's still easily one of the best DMs in this league. Either ways, but I still think they need a retool. I don't know, but Everton Football Club, they need to do better, to be honest. Anyway, let me read a few messages. I'll take some thoughts on Fulham as well. Felix Tomili is my name. My boss, United, have spoiled my bet again.
What was his bet?
He said same thing. I think he went for probably United win. He said same thing too last week. I can't be few. He says, as a Chelsea fan, I'm having fun with the 2 poor teams. PPT from Keta. Alvino from Akosomo says, good afternoon, Ben. Great game. That's what makes the EPL special. This one is from Chris from Bimbila. Says, as a United fan, a draw is not bad. I'm disappointed in Sesko. Had 2 clear chances to punish Spurs.
2?
But he is slow in taking shots. All in all, that United fan will cut his hair after the international break. Love the show. Coach, your Sesko Wasao, stop defending him. PPT from Keta.
Is he?
Randy from Madina Kami says, if you are all forgetting the fact that United were a man down when Spurs equalized and took the lead. Okay.
Oh yeah.
When Sesko went, no one came in for him, so he could have hobbled on the field.
No. He hobbled what?
No,
he was just standing on the field.
Maybe it was risky.
You don't know the extent.
Yeah.
At this level, he hobbled for what? You rather aggravate the situation.
Yeah, I think it was risky because the way he was looking, he looked like he was in a lot of discomfort.
Yeah, and that was a good point that the texter has just made. Nobody's defending anybody here. But if you've played football before, you understand that situation. Don't forget, the goalkeeper went long to Sesko. He won the ball in the air, came down, took off. I believe that the pass should have been hit in such a way that he will run onto the ball, not for him to now control the ball before thinking about shooting. How could he have shot that ball at one time? Nobody is forcing you to support anybody. And nobody is going to tell anybody who to defend or who not to defend.
Somebody too is
what
telling
are you
me.
Talking about?
Somebody here is called Kabaite. He says that I should tell you to give Maguire his flowers, and that United conceded after he was taken off. So Harry Maguire should be given his flowers.
The man can. Is he trying to say that when Maguire is on the pitch, United don't concede?
I mean, the world's most expensive defender. That's the sort of.
You say what?
So the world's most expensive defender.
Is he still?
I mean,
no, but what sort of analysis? How many times have United considered when Harry Maguire has been on the pitch? Can he count that? The text of the match.
I think he's just saying that for this game in particular, they didn't.
It is not about just this game. If he's there and the team will concede, will concede.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, the 2 goals conceded. One of them, I think the first goal should have been properly defended. The second goal, who is stopping that? There was a corner. The first ball properly dealt with. Spurs couldn't deal with their first corner. And United equalized directly from a corner kick. So at the end of the day, at least if you are a coach and you are doing your analysis, you look at the fact that that first shot or that first corner kick was dealt with. And then the ball was headed outside of the 18. Could the United players had rushed out a bit quicker? Whoever was closer to the ball, could he have closed in the player down a bit more? If Richarlison, again, you highlighted the point of Manuel Ugarte playing on Richarlison. If Ugarte offside, but even that, Richarlison, he just had a glance of the header. So you want to credit them. But at the end of the day, you cannot say if Maguire was there, that wouldn't have happened. What sort of
Anyway,
No, he just pointed. I'm
Let's-
not
let-
defending.
let me
to
take a
point
break.
out that.
Let me take a break here on the show. When we come back, we'll get in depth into that Fulham game. There's a West Ham game also happening. We'll get into that, and then I'll take you around Europe again. So stay with us here on the Republic of Football. We'll be right back. Benjamin Nketiah. I'm here with Coach Christopher Nimley, setting up Edmond and Manuel Kwache. Big ups to all of you out there getting to us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel City Sports GH. That's where the stream is happening. If you go to X or Twitter, we're on City 973. We're also live on Channel 1 TV. Like I say, we are everywhere. Just gone by, early kickoff, Man United and Spurs splitting points in a 2-2 draw. Happening now, Everton versus Fulham Football Club. It's goalless, 16 minutes played. Still in the Premier League. when you go to the London Stadium, it's West Ham United taking on Burnley Football Club. It's goalless in that game as well. That's a game we'll be getting into right about now. But just by way of updates in the Bundesliga, it's almost a game done and dusted between Bayer Leverkusen, I believe. I think that should be Schalke. I'm not sure what team that is. I'll just verify that for you in a bit. So that's Heidenheim. Yes, so Heidenheim. It's 4-0. Advantage by Leverkusen. I'm sure they'll be telling themselves they did a great job by sacking Erik ten Hag. Kwachi, let's get into that West Ham United game against Burnley. Good game so far. Espirito Santo still looking for a big... He's gotten his first win under his belt, but looking to build on that. What have you made of his early time at West Ham?
He's made me realize that maybe we should not have been so critical of Lopetegui and Graham Potter, because it looks much harder to work at the London Stadium than they are letting on. He's admitted
Potter
that
maybe Lopetegui.
They
had the same record. To be fair,
this is Lopetegui's team. In case we are forgetting, this is his team. They bought him a truckload of players when he came in, only to get fired, and then Potter came in.
You sacked him after 20 games. That's
he sacked himself.
20 games is not enough.
I mean, it is enough, and his record speaks for himself. But I think a club like West Ham, I think sometimes you need to also be realistic
almost 40 of his players. I mean, you're going to get fired. What are you talking about?
I mean, to be fair, he maybe more Graham Potter than Julian Lopetegui. But it looks like it's been a hard job at West Ham ever since David Moyes left. Like you've said, it was one of the clearest cases of be careful what you wish for. Because these people were complaining that they wanted better football to watch, more attractive football, more exciting football, so that when they go to the stadium, their kids are excited, and it's unfortunately no, because I think you don't win trophies. Clubs like this, if you're realistic to yourself, you don't win trophies, and as I don't know what the attractive football gives you. I get that, okay, maybe it's nice that your club plays nice football, and when you go to the stadium, it's fun. But I think sometimes clubs also need to be more realistic about the type of club you are and the type of teams you can beat. And sometimes I think Burnley proved that when they came up with Vincent Kompany. Going toe-to-toe with these players, with these top clubs, when you don't have players who are as good as theirs, only usually ends up one way. And it's not. There
are some coaches that are actually delusional. They think that players at big clubs are only at big clubs because they are at big clubs. They think that technically we have players who might be smaller in reputation, but our players can match them technique for technique and that kind of thing. You find out really quick. No, you find out. That's why you find out. You find out why the team spends big money on those players and your players are still where they are. But somebody's just alerting me, but Luis Diaz has scored a worldie for Bayern Munich. It's 1-1 in that game. It's 45 plus 6 so far in that one. So I'm spotting a certain Elias Ansah, a forward for Union Berlin who has just scored. Elias Ansah looks like he can be on the World Cup.
He could be on the plane.
He can be on the flight to the World Cup. I'll be doing a little background check on him in a bit so I can get you some more information. But it's 1-1. Like I said, you were making a point, Mano.
Yeah, just on West Ham, I think they struggled. They haven't really made a difference, which I think is one of the things you look for when you change a manager. They haven't really been able to have a difference or feel that bounce from going from one manager to another.
Yeah,
I think Nuno was a good choice for him personally. I've said that I think he was a little too eager to get back into work. I understand, like I said, with how it worked with him at Wolves and Nottingham Forest. If you take a club of a similar stature, you can you don't have as much pressure to deliver instantly while also being able to work with Premier League resources.
Yeah,
which means that while you might be a small team in the Premier League, on a global scale, you're one of the biggest clubs in the world still. Between Leeds and Burnley, I think it's a 6 points, as I see. The difference between them is just 3 points. It's feasible that West Ham could win and go above Burnley, but I think they would need a better goal difference. Their goal difference, there's a difference of -4 between them, which makes them a little difficult for them. But for West Ham, I think these are Burnley and Leeds are not Sunderland anymore. But Burnley and Leeds are the ones who look like they they could be falling into the relegation zone. I think Fulham's win last week was really important because they themselves they had lost 4 games in a row before that. So and they were slowly slipping towards the relegation zone. So to get a win last week, hopefully this week they can do something well against Everton. But for West Ham, I think this is a game they need to be winning. Not necessarily. Obviously, it helps them get more points on the board, but I think it also drags Burnley into the title race. So last week we were making the point that none of the relegated teams are in the bottom 3 yet.
Yeah.
But I think just above the relegation zone now are Leeds and Burnley, and the difference is just 3 points. So if West Ham were able to get this win, and Forest, who you hope will come good, because Forest have only won 1 game all season, and this is a team that qualified for Europe last season. You get me? So even though they've had with 3 different managers and only 1 win, I don't think that speaks good of them.
Talking about Forest, I saw a tifo that generated so much controversy within the week. So Crystal Palace, I believe, were sanctioned by the league for displaying a tifo, very offensive tifo, where owner Marinakis is seen with a sack of cash and a gun to the head of Morgan Gibbs-White. Basically, I think depicting that whole rumor that went about that Gibbs-White was threatened to not leave Forest for that Spurs deal. It's a very vivid tifo. Like, you can't defend that type of stuff. When they see you with it, you can't defend it. Yeah. Oh, you should see it. It's all over on Twitter. It's a very pot-bellied Marinakis holding a gun and a sack of cash, basically telling Gibbs-White that you are going nowhere. That's crazy.
I mean, the problem with Forest and Marinakis is, if you, based on the club of their history, to be European champions twice, and then to go into a period where they were not really at the top of European football, Marinakis has brought them back to the top of English football. He took Brian Clough's team and brought them back to the top of European football. They are in Europe again. They are competing in the Premier League, and there's a devotion to him, because most of the times that he's made changes, it hasn't really made sense. So when they came in initially, I think Steve Cooper got them from the relegation zone in the Championship and got them promoted, and then when they came to the top, he sacked him immediately and brought Nuno. I mean, not immediately, but he gave him like 1, 2, 3 games. So it wasn't working, and then brought in Nuno when things were going really well with Nuno, and then he sacked him. And I think even though he's been very reactive to some of these decisions, I think because of how well he's been able to grow the club from what they were to what they are now, he has a lot of devotion from the people who follow Nottingham Forest a lot. So it makes it so I see why they would support him, and that's why it makes it fun for other clubs to make fun of him and to point out that it's slightly not a dictatorship, but it's slightly I mean, everything he says goes, and everyone goes with it and it's just for them. I think they need to, at least this season, I think things can switch very quickly. You can go from Europe to being relegated, and by the 3rd season no one even remembers that you were in the league. Luton are in League 1 now, even though they were in the Premier League. Like, Luton are in League 1.
It's so crazy to me. Quickly. It's so crazy to me how Luton have just fallen to the bottom. Luton's head coach these days is Jack Wilshere.
They got relegated and relegated again.
Relegated
back-to-back relegations. Charlie, it's crazy. Then they've hired Jack Wilshere as their manager.
I think their former manager is Rob Edwards. I think he's at Middlesbrough. Wolves are trying to get him into to manage their team.
That deal won't happen because Middlesbrough has stopped their approach.
No, but
they won't. They said they won't condone such things at this point in time.
When did Middlesbrough sack Michael Carrick?
I think at the start of the season. After last season, I think it didn't work out too well for them, so they parted ways with him.
So two claret-wearing teams, West Ham and Burnley, going at it as we speak. If you look at the lineups, I think that West Ham have a decent squad. So today up front they have Somerville, Wilson, and Jarrod Bowen. That's a very formidable front line. Callum Wilson, I've always said, minus his injury woes, is one of the best finishers in the Premier League. If he's fit and you put
he's also one of those players who we talk about in potential terms. Like, he can be, will be,
potential
could have
grandfather.
I know. Could have been, would have been. And
it came down to injuries. I think, he had too many injuries. And you can see it slowed him down. He's become overweight. He doesn't run the space in front of him. He wants the ball put to him at feet, and all these things are things that at this level you need to be a bit mobile. And he happens to play in a team where they don't run a lot. Look at Dewsbury Hall. Hello, J. Lenny. I don't know, but
Starman.
Yeah.
He's allowed to get away with things. No, but Everton, this game this game looks like a draw to me. I mean,
I mean, that's the thing about. That's what I'm saying. Like, I get the David Moyes thing. Like, I was critical of West Ham fans for saying that why would they want better than David Moyes? But then the more and more you analyze his style of football, sometimes I think as a fan, when you aren't winning, I think it can be a very frustrating type of football to be constantly watching. You get me? And I can understand why why they would be frustrated and expect a bit more. But at the same time too, I think like I said, you guarantee safety, so it's all about what your priorities are in the league. Because to be relegated, I think, and like we said, the impact that has on different teams, I think it's sometimes it's worth it to just play boring football but to stay in the league.
Play boring football, but I don't think David Moyes' football is even boring. I would take a look. As long as the wins are rolling in, as long as we have wingers who will do their job, I'm fine.
But that's the thing, it seems a bit traditional. Like, wingers do their job, defenders defend well, fullbacks don't go beyond the half. I
don't think Moyes is that restrictive. People over exaggerate it. I look at Mikolenko, decent fullback that overlaps pretty well. I like him as a player. I look at a couple of the other guys that they have. I think that especially at West Ham, all that stuff was a bit exaggerated because they were in a bad patch and he was trying to rescue the bad patch. If you are trying to rescue a bad patch, you don't.
No. I mean, in the season, I think they also finished 17th the year they won the Conference League. So I think he did the Ange tactical. He also sacrificed his league form slightly for a trophy, and I think that actually happens for managers because if you are trying to win one competition, even when you put the other players in, obviously they also want to come and prove that they are at the same level. But once you start prioritizing competitions, I think subconsciously players also take it maybe slightly easier. They don't, and it has an effect on your league form. Whereas when it's a European night, players are able to get up for it, and I think that's one of the intangibles of football.
I just peeped Seamus Coleman on the bench. Why is Seamus Coleman
still on the bench? He's been in the team for more than 16, 17 years.
Yes. I think now he's been sort of graduated to a player coach kind of thing.
Oh, Munjaisa.
He's one of the few players I've seen come back from a broken leg.
Well,
that is one genuine reason why he should have retired by now.
Oh,
another good reason why he should have just called it
taking up somebody's space on the team. I don't know, man. I don't know. Seamus Coleman by this time. Come on, bro.
But
Seamus Coleman is 37 years old.
Yeah, I mean, but I think you were saying there are a lot of clubs are starting to like that player. So you see Brentford, what they did with Henderson. What Brighton also did with Milner and Lallana, and even to a lesser degree Welbeck. But I think Welbeck is actually banging in now. I think it's at least for the younger players, because it has that effect on them. Like sometimes we are not stars.
Coach is watching the Everton striker Barry.
No, not him. I don't like this.
Calvin Bassey.
I don't like him. He thinks football is all about the physical battle.
Calvin Bassey is another
defending cannot be about
defender.
That. Keep your eyes on the ball.
It's not good.
Get rid of the ball. This ball was going nowhere. Now you've considered a set piece in a very dangerous situation. The ball is floated correctly. Somebody heads the ball. It's in the look at Wan-Bissaka too. Oh my goodness.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I don't know how you are keeping an eye on 2 games, but that's a good one. Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Look, but the truth be told, if you follow the Burnley West Ham game, Burnley are virtually playing as if they are the home team. They are virtually defending well. They are popping the ball around. They're dictating the tempo of the game. They are in virtually total control. It's just that they are yet to score.
Yeah,
that is the reason why
Everton will get a goal against Fulham very soon from how things are going, because Fulham have really been pinned into their own half in this game. But just quick thoughts on Ghana Gay. I was just wondering about him. Like we're just talking about him a little loosely a while ago. He's been a very, very decent player over such a long spell of time. How does a player like that do it? Because I look at him and I'm saying that the Premier League is very demanding, but he's been around forever. I'm basically trying to pull out his history sheet here.
I hear he's a very disciplined player. Disciplined in the sense that he takes care of himself very, very well. And don't forget, he's that sort of player, low sense of gravity sort of player. So if you can take care of yourself very well, stay out of unnecessary walking about, running about, no alcohol, and then just be doing the very simple things in life as a footballer, drinking a lot of water, resting well, you can have this sort of longevity that he's had to his game. But truth be told, if I'm the boss, if I'm the boss of Everton, I don't see why I'll be starting him. It speaks volumes of the people,
the state of their midfield, and
it speaks volume because he's a decent squad player to have. A player who, let's say, when we are leading and we need to protect a lead, you throw in there for the last 15 minutes. Tactically, he's assured. His movement, his tackling, his breaking of the play is something that you can capitalize on. But truth be told, he's gotten slower over the years. We all know him that in midfield, although he wins the ball, there were times where he could drive the ball through the middle himself, and those were the things that PSG saw, and for which they bought him initially from Everton, made good use of him for 3-4 years, and then
so he moved from Everton. He moved from Villa in 2016. He played for Villa from 2016 to 2019. Then he moved to Everton. Then Everton to PSG till 2022.
That's right.
And then he came back.
So like I'm saying,
that's been the trajectory.
So he's had a decent footballing career. Don't forget, he's won the AFCON too with Senegal.
Very few African players can play to 36 in the Premier League.
Exactly, and he's doing that. And I'm told he's one of those players who really, really, really do take care of himself very well. But you can clearly see that he's been put in there to do the simple things, which he's Exactly. But that extra bite that you expect your midfielder to give you when there's a gap in front of him after winning the ball, has he the legs, has he the speed to be able to fill the void and then draw players onto himself and see whether he can unleash one or two players for them to go and score. I think that is why I believe that he's a player you can have as a squad player, but not the run you expect to run the show. He can't be the one to dictate the tempo, the intensity.
Typically, they would have what's the guy's name? Abdoulaye Doucouré, also probably injured as usual.
No, I think he's left.
Yeah, I think his contract expired and he moved on.
Is that on? So yeah, it looked like Barry had scored for Everton, but he looked like he looked like he had straight offside. I
Barry
think it was a player
Barry looks slightly like Malasia. Slightly
without the hair.
Well, Malasia is coming back.
But I mean, I think he should have been onside if you look at this, because like they say sometimes you can clearly see across the line. He nearly missed it because he's off. You don't know he's off. But I'm just saying, I think he should have.
Even was it?
Ndiaye too would have been offside.
The first person was off.
Abdoulaye Doucouré is left.
They were
So
all
looks like Burnley have taken the lead.
He's went on
Saudi Pro League.
They have also got a couple of collections for themselves.
Neom,
Yeah, Neom. They have a very interesting collection.
Let me check out their squad. But anyway, let me take you back to the Ghanaian player.
Burnley have taken the lead.
Okay.
Burnley have taken the lead against West Ham.
I told you.
Yeah, they were playing. They'd been the better team up until that point. Nuno looks gone.
Looks really it's
this West Ham team.
Because I was surprised. He was very happy at Forest. So to see him back to being very
You see, clearly the West Ham team is not good. Look at the marking. Look.
Just gets in between the two center halves.
Oh my goodness.
Heads it down. Acres of space to control. Let me see.
Coach, that's Diouf.
Wow. If you just look at that sequence.
so much time.
Oh, wow.
So much time.
That's Diouf dancing in between, not knowing what to do. The ball getting played past him.
That's a good goal.
Look at the
There are two players in the box and none of them are being marked.
Yep. Shocking defending. Anyway, let me go to Bundesliga and tell you about the guy who scored against Bayern Munich. Scored Elias Ansah. Of course, you know where it is. Born in Ludenscheid in Germany. He's 21 years old. He already has 4 goals this season in the Bundesliga. He's a left winger and a striker. Has played 12 times for Germany's under-20 team and scored 5 goals. He's now playing for the under-21s. He's played 4 matches already and scored once. So Elias Ansah, soon to be on the flight.
Let me just add a bit to that.
Is doing his thing in the Bundesliga.
The goals he scored when he played for the German under-20 side. You said he scored 5.
Yeah.
2 of them were against Ghana.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, see, which game was this?
So there was that was last year October. There was this sequence where we had a game and then we had the under 20s playing around the same time.
The one
And
that get to cripple
took our team.
I did not finish that one.
I remember.
I did not finish that one. And we got beat good. And he scored 2 goals.
Oh, I see. That's amazing. Okay, we'll need his services now. So
we started tapping him up during the match, so by the time he gets to the national team, it should be easy.
we need his services soon. So, okay, so Neom FC have Alexander Lacazette.
Yeah.
I have just tracked him down. He is in the Saudi league alongside Ahmed Hegazi, Egyptian veteran
West
defender.
Brom.
And then there's Amadou Kone. They have Marcin Boka, Simon Bubari.
There are a lot of random players out there. Now I was watching the Saudi league and I saw Carrasco come up. So many.
Carrasco still play football.
Yeah. Chopping a little
He went
Saudi
to
money.
China for like
the
longest time. Came back. He's had a very interesting. Carrasco, Axel Witsel, and there's one more person. They've had very interesting careers. Oscar. Where's Oscar?
Oscar's
gone back
he
to
said
Brazil.
He's back. He's back to Brazil, yeah. He was done with his Chinese expedition and said
expedition.
yeah, because he was one of the few players who spent the
Truckload
most.
of money.
No, but he said he, according to him at least, he said he enjoyed it. He enjoyed the time there, like spending.
Yeah,
time
if I
in
was
China.
getting paid $300,000 a week,
I mean,
would
he was one of
enjoy
the
my
few
time
players
too.
before.
And China is not. And China is a very good place. It's a great place to be if we are being honest.
Yeah.
Technologically advanced, great food. China is a huge country.
Is it
like there's so much.
Frank
Frank Champo is another.
Yeah.
Made a truckload of money playing.
I think he's still
Shout outs
there.
to Okebo. Yeah, he's there
He's
actually.
still there.
Shout outs to Frank, man. He's in fact Frank Champo, I believe, is a partner in one of the academies down here with Lothar Matthias. Just some academy work, so he's doing some good stuff. So he's been up to some good stuff. So they made good money. The China people have made good money. I mean,
he was one of the early people. I think initially, after a while, they started.
They brought a salary.
Yeah, I
cap.
think it was 100% salary tax. Wherever you were paying someone, you had to pay 100% in tax to the government.
That's ridiculous.
And that slowed down the
Coach,
contracts
look at
they were
your
giving.
look at your. Is that your friend?
Yeah.
Calvin Bassey.
Yeah. I have never seen a centre back that throws himself onto the pitch in the EPL like Kelvin Bassey.
Don't do this.
This is the game is at 40 minutes,
Yep.
and this is
Bassey
the
has
third
fallen down
time
like 3 or 4 times.
he has
already.
done this.
And it's weird when defenders dive because you are supposed to be the.
He
like,
comes from Ajax.
physically-
He came from Ajax. Like you expect that you know how to do it, and you see, like when you're a footballer, when you have a certain profile, you are not allowed to be bad. Like you are not allowed to be bad as a left-footed centre back from Ajax. Like you can't be a bad footballer. I don't understand. But you know, every time Fulham concedes a goal, he's in and around the vicinity. Oh no, I'm serious. Every single time, it's either a Bassey missed challenge, a Bassey missed header, like something. He's always in and around the vicinity. And is he a starter for the Super Eagles?
Yeah. He starts for them.
One of the reasons why they have
all action defender.
yeah,
Yes.
very all action, no cerebral impact, just all action. Just all action. Come on, man, Calvin Bassey, do better. And I think he's the reason why Fulham ended up not buying Mohamed Salisu, because they were looking for a tall left-footed centre back, and then they went and got Calvin Bassey from Ajax
in fact,
and let go of Salisu. So
yeah, it was a choice they had to make at the time.
I remember.
very well.
Yeah, we did that on Doku. I remember.
They were torn in
very-
between
yep.
Salisu and then
And
when
then
they
Bassey,
opted
you're like,
for
okay,
him,
2 left-footed centre backs,
From
one
West
Ghanaian,
Africa.
one Nigerian, just about the same height. I think if left to Calvin Bassey alone, it would have been better with Salisu.
I think so.
I've not been a great Salisu fan lately,
yeah,
but they would have definitely been better off with Salisu.
It's a bit more
Calvin
calm.
Because what Batsy does, Salisu doesn't do any of those things. Like, how do you keep throwing yourself on the floor? You are supposed to be defending the goal, and you are the one doing the opposite.
It means that by how do you call it? By training, he dives into tackles. He's been it's part of how he's
goal.
been
Yeah.
trained.
What goal?
We have a goal.
Rag is up.
Oh,
Oh man.
and the ball was kicked right in front of Calvin Bassey.
I told you, you'll be in and around the vicinity when the opponents get a goal. David Moyes was up to celebrate, and then the goal was chalked off. So
I mean, like on the David Moyes thing, I get what you're saying, but it doesn't matter how well you play unless you vary the way you score. And I don't think his team has enough variation in the way they score. Even at least, I mean, again, that's probably down to like, I don't see where the offside is from. Is it from Barry in front of the keeper?
are they reviewing this?
No, I think they've started.
They've moved on. They've moved on with it, but I don't know. That looked like a legit goal.
But yeah, I don't know if it's like you said, maybe because he hasn't had a good striker, so it makes all the build-up play pointless. But I think they need to find more ways to score more goals, basically, because it's
it will come back to bite them. I mean, if you don't get more goals, you will be staring relegation in the face very soon.
And it I think. It's a bit simple as expect. Sometimes if you have one player who can score 20 goals a season, that's good. But then if you have other players around, you need other players to chip in.
5-5,
4, 2, and I don't think beyond Grealish, I don't think anyone else has beyond 3.
Yeah, and the guy should score a lot more for the.
I mean, he's on penalty, so I think he might.
For the positions he gets in, he should score a lot more. But that's the thing about Everton; they don't like buying flamboyant, creative players. They like buying hackers. I don't know what their problem is. Interceptors and hackers.
And they've got a lot of them wrong. I remember when they tried that with Davy Klaassen from Ajax, and so they try. I think there was somewhere where they try and put 3 number 10s in the same position along with James Rodriguez, and it's I mean, James was good.
Their squad building has always been suspect. So very interesting what's going on. There looks like the Saudi league. People are following the Saudi league, so I'll be giving you some updates from the Saudi league.
Look like West Ham.
West Ham have equalized.
Okay, is that my guy? I told you, Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson with the equalizer. Like I've said, on his day when fit, one of the best finishers.
I can't think of a trademark goal he scores.
I won't call him one of the best strikers in the league. One of the best finishers. He's a finisher. If you want somebody to score a goal for you, he's your guy. I've always liked him as far as his finishing is concerned. Is that him? Is that the angle?
I think that's Somerville.
So Somerville does the hard work, and then it comes in, and Wilson is there to just add the finishing touch. Instinctive, because that was difficult. Takes a wicked deflection, just comes across quickly. I like it. 1-1. Defenders bothering about conceding penalties, and then in the end it's an easy finish. So 1-1 between West Ham United and Burnley Football Club. Look at what that goal means to him and Paqueta. What are they doing? I don't know what's going on between the two of them, but it's a huge goal. I think it's been reviewed briefly for a possible offside. Yep. I don't know if that's a possible offside, but I think that's a good goal. Nuno looks really agitated on that bench. He looks like he's in deep thoughts. Only he knows what he's thinking about. But I don't know, man. Hard job. If I'm getting paid millions, I will laugh, smile at the storm.
I mean, after just being paid millions to leave a previous job.
Exactly,
I mean,
my boy. Smile at the storm, bro. It's not such a difficult job. Don't be like
I
that.
said, I think it's a little eye-opening for him at West Ham. I think on the surface it looks like there's a lot of talent for him, but I think going into the club, I think he's in a similar situation, but with the manager, with an owner who won't back him as much, if that makes sense. As much as Marinakis was always on you, I think he was willing to. I think the reason why he was so expectant is because of how much he was investing in the club.
No, but West Ham have spent money. Don't get me wrong, they spent money, but West Ham bought Fulkrug for some crazy amount of money.
Fulkrug.
Yes.
Fulkrug.
Am I the one who spent the money for them? No.
Your two strikers are Douglas Fulkrug and a free Callum Wilson who is barely fit.
All I'm saying is they spent a good amount of money on those guys, so it's not like you see. I always want people to make the distinction between not spending and spending poorly. Okay. Like there are a lot of teams that spend money, but they spend the money poorly. There's a big difference between that, and I always say that. Look, if you are a PL team and you are a mid-table to relegation type candidate, you have no business trying to buy strikers for 40 million and things. If you
don't think they bought Somerville for 40 million, you don't think that's worked out from Leeds?
No, it hasn't. Somerville doesn't have 10 goals and 10 assists under his belt at West Ham. He doesn't. No. And Somerville is somebody we all thought would have those numbers at least or be close to that by now. He doesn't have it. And if you have 40 million, you should be able to spread 40 million around 3 or 4 players, and you can get very, very good players for 40 million for 3 players. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
Benfica and Porto do it. Sporting Lisbon do it.
I mean, to be fair,
you can do
Palace have done quite well with that. They got Eze from Birmingham City. They got Wharton, I think, from Bolton Wanderers.
That's what I'm talking about.
But the thing is, the difference.
Daniel Munoz from Genk.
They didn't buy from other Premier League clubs, which is a problem. I think once you go and you say this is a proven Premier League player, I want to buy it from you, there's always going to be a premium. They went and invested from a championship.
First of all, I'm not buying no Premier League proven nothing. I'm not the only position where I will probably insist on Premier League proven is maybe a forward. In other positions, I will not be as stringent with a
and I think their problem is they kept Bassi's in a fight.
Okay.
Our good friend Calvin Bassi.
Anyway.
Tarkowski and Bassi.
But you don't know what is wrong with Bassi.
Calvin Bassi, man. Calvin Bassi is an interesting player. Very, very interesting. I mean,
to be fair, it's not his fault. I think he's just standing up for.
No, he was bear hugging Tarkowski from behind, and he wasn't having it. Look at that.
See, it's not his fight, but then he gets in the middle of it.
You need to stand up for your teammates. That's one of those things. You get the yellow card for that.
Yeah.
Both players.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty standard. I think they both in one way or another route of the other. So I think if a booking is fair for them.
Interesting. But anyway, in the Serie A today there are no goals. So Lecce and Hellas Verona are still playing goalless. Como and Cagliari goalless as well. Como is where Fabregas coaches, right?
Yeah.
Says Fabregas. So that's where he does his thing these days. Como have Rafael Varane, or he's retired. Did he retire?
That adventure did not end well. He got in there. I feel he saw the kind of training that was being done, and then they moved him into an administrative position.
Finally,
we have a goal. And it's my player. Guess who? Idrissa Gana Gueye. Like I said, 36 years old and still treating the Premier League like it's garden.
Get that pass away.
Yeah, Idrissa Gana Gueye has just given Everton.
Someone missed really a really big shot before that, but he was able to follow up on
Idrissa Gana Gueye. Ghana had Idrissa Gana Gueye midfield alongside Partey. Like we know, no be with this. You know, if you like, no be with this. Charlie Partey, Gana Gueye, alcohol. Don't play. Gana Gueye is such a good player. Like man, starts the move, goes back in. Look at him, just right place at the right time.
Hey,
right place at the right time. He was coming in. He was just observing the flight of the ball the whole time. Yeah, just nicked it in. solid player. 1-0. Everton. This is a David Moyes type of goal. David Moyes team goal. You know, scrappy, fast structure to it. But yep, Everton lead 1-0 right on the stroke of half time. Really, the worst time to possibly concede a goal for Marco Silva. Coach, just quick thoughts on what you make of the defending leading up to the goal, and I mean Gana gave himself the finish.
Is it Marco Silva himself has got issues? If you have a defender who is supposed to be one of your back three centre back and he's supposed to be a leader, you need to get him to focus on the football.
Yeah.
Not to be overly indulging in fighting and pushing and kicking and
doing the most.
What was that? It is in the midst of that disorderliness, that discomfort, confusion at the back. That's when they've considered this goal. They should not be considering such a scrappy goal at this time of the game, almost through to half time. Somebody should be stamping his authority as a leader. And once it's a back three, maybe you expect the center of the back three, the one who is central of the other two guys, to be the one. But all the three of them are technical leaders, and you want to focus on the job. You want to focus on the job. You want to get the ball, defend well, and calm the nerves of everybody in front of you, and see whether you can weather the storm and start playing. But in the midst of trying to weather the storm, you are fighting, you are pushing, you are doing unnecessary things.
And those things create a distraction.
Exactly. You are divided in your mindset.
I was actually going to ask you whether, because it looked like what Bassi was doing, there are some players where they feel like they need to, how some people say, you need to let him know I'm there in certain situations. I think Bassi has a thing where he wants
the best way to let a player know you are there is to do it in the 50-50 situation. You see, let's say the ball is put on the touchline, then you are
but the point is you
you see, that's what
the point is
you
you
clear the ball together with the player. Then he knows that you tell him, we are not here. But not when you are using your hand to put some. No, you are being.
The thing is, you are trying to also mentally distract the players. Like if
in
you are
front
not
of your
yourself,
goal, it's in front of your goal. You don't distract players. They want you distracted so that they go and punish you. You understand? If in front, you want to do it in the middle of the park, but not when the ball. For the past 5-10 minutes, the ball has been virtually played in their half.
Yeah.
So clearly telling you that he's got some defending to do. So focus on that. Weather that storm, then you begin to talk to the rest of your team. Charlie,
it's a fair point because there are times where coaches don't even like to make substitutions before corners.
No, I don't like that.
Just to maintain
defend the corner then, because there is a tendency of everybody switching off, looking at whoever is coming, what role is he coming to play, or has he been given any message? And if the team executing the corner, once he walks onto the pitch, they'll kick. They are not going to wait for him to get there. Once they are going to continue with the game, and for me, it's a very scrappy sort of goal that they've conceded, and I think it came as a result of lack of concentration at the back of Fulham.
A scrappy goal from a set piece. I think that's one of the worst goals to concede. Just on Seamus Coleman, I just wanted to point out that I realized that after Sean Dyche was sacked, he and Leighton Baines were caretaker manager.
My guy, that's my guy.
He's already Leighton Baines manager.
So they don't make them like that anymore. Leighton Baines dead ball. You know it's going in. 2 times out of 5. If he gets 5,
I saw somebody like him on the bench.
Yeah,
so Baines is still part of the coaching staff.
Of course,
he
played under David Moyes.
But Coleman is still. He's back to being a player, but he's been the caretaker manager.
So he's also
just an
like
interesting
he
role.
said, like player coach.
Yeah.
So they are kind of trying to transition him. That's interesting. There's a guy at Tottenham as well. I think it's Ryan Mason.
Yeah, I mean Mason has taken charge of the main team job. I think was it when
I think he has done it twice.
Somebody was
He's
fired.
done it twice. He's done it twice. He's taken charge
in,
of the role, and I think he did. He did
a
okay.
decent job.
He did okay. Yeah. He's like the Chelsea equivalent of Gus Hiddink, if you remember back.
Frank Lampard, you dare say.
I don't think Lampard will get a call. He could get the call again.
Gus Hiddink is the main guy. Like whenever Chelsea needed a stopgap manager,
Abramovich has sacked someone. He needs his Russian
are you
friends.
available? Say, oh yes, I can hold up the job
good.
for you. Gus Hiddink is some guy. Interesting thoughts there, but it's half time. I believe in the West Ham game against Burnley. It's 1-1. Also half time in the Everton game as well. Everton lead by 1-0. We'll be going through a few of the numbers from that first half as far as those 2 games are concerned. But let me take your thoughts, Kwache, on the West Ham Burnley game. So like you rightly said, we already established that Parker's doing a great job at Burnley. They are playing well. So far, what have you made of this game? They have some veteran leadership in Kyle Walker as well.
Yeah. I think when we were coming up, people were expecting them to be incredibly solid defensively. I think their record last season in the Championship, I think it's 15 goals that they conceded throughout the season. I have to verify that, but I think they didn't concede more than 20 goals throughout the whole season. So their whole game was built on defensive solidity. Obviously, I think when it comes to the Premier League, it's a different awakening. They've already conceded 20 goals this season.
They considered 20 before Christmas.
Who, West Ham?
Yeah.
No,
Burnley.
I mean, West Ham have considered 22, so yeah, they're in the
same stratosphere.
They're in the same ballpark, and I think that's one of the things that affect you if you are not able to build defensively on your team. It's a little for them. I mean, but for them, I don't think they were expecting anything different. I think all the time they've been to the Premier League so far, they've expected a challenge. They've already won 2 games at home, which I think is, and like I said, for these teams, if you're able to build on your home form, I think that could be really helpful for you, because a lot of teams will go away from home, and if you have a stadium that's able to create a good atmosphere, I think that could be really good for the team. For Parker, last time he got sacked when he was at Bournemouth. I think when he came up and he made the comment that he lost 9-0 to Liverpool and he said none of his players were good enough to play in the Premier League. And then I think Iraola came in and did some magic, and now that looks. So I think this
doesn't look good on him.
And I think he's been promoted 3 times already to the Premier League. And if I'm right, he's not lasted the full job at either of them since.
Yeah.
So I think this is the 3rd time. I think you'll be hoping that he can keep up the good form and keep them competitive in the table at least. In terms of this game, West Ham have looked okay. Burnley have created more, but I think that's mainly down to West Ham not being as. I think they also struggle. Since Nuno has coming, like you said, they haven't been able to. His style of football. I think you remember the style of football that he was playing under Nottingham Forest. I think it's really interesting today with him going with Callum Wilson. I don't know if Fulkrug injured.
Yeah, he is.
Fulkrug is injured.
He's constantly injured.
No, so since he's come, I think he started with Fulkrug. So he's given Hardico Wilson the opportunity now, but also with them, I don't think they have enough good options going forward.
Yeah,
and I
have a Brazilian on the bench called Luis Guillem. I have not seen much of him yet, but hopefully we can get him. We can get some action from him pretty soon. If you look at Burnley, they have a pretty decent. I like Marcus Edwards. Like I said, Spurs product who ended up at Sporting Lisbon, left-footed winger. Now is back in the Premier League, and then they have who was on the bench? They have Armando Broja on the bench. Hannibal Mejri United.
Yeah. So
interesting.
I think he took a move to the championship down and then got promoted with them. So
that is a good player. I'm not sure why he's not getting played. I used to like his composure on the ball.
And I think he starts for his national team. Is that?
But he actually normally starts for them as well. It's just one of
probably
those
rotation,
games.
and he's out of the mix. I like him. He's a pretty good player. When you break out of United, sometimes players are good. You just don't get an opportunity at the big clubs you are coming from, and that should be okay. You should be able to go somewhere and make a name for yourself.
But I feel like a lot of people are getting lost in the Cole Palmer vortex and thinking that this could be me. Like, I will go and show them I'm a good player, and then you end up at a relegation club, and then you get relegated, and then nobody comes to buy you, and then you have to play the championship. Nonto still has interest.
But based on how much teams pay for you, you should get a good sense of what your skill set and your valuation is in the market. Palmer was bought for 45 million.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody buying Hannibal Mejri for 20 million even.
But Makati went for 30 million.
The Manchester City guy.
Yeah, the Makati went for 30 million. Dublin went for 40 million. They sold Hutchison.
That's a scam.
Omari Hutchison is at Forest.
That's a scam. Hutchison is good.
For 42 million.
That's a scam too.
42
Hutchison
million.
is worth like 35 million tops.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm
just
just
struggling to get into that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, goes back to the point that we're making earlier. This
Yeah.
is just standard Premier League. Has played in the Premier League before. He has
finessing.
an extra like 20.
Premier
He knows
League
the league.
finessing.
This player knows the league, so you can add an extra 20, 30 million on his price tag, and he'll be good for you.
I don't know, but like I'm saying, if I'm a GM of a Premier League club and I want players to buy, especially I'm a mid-table club, I'm never buying players from Premier League teams. Like, unless they are
so many options.
English homegrown. And even that, you have to be of a certain minimum level of talent to be able to make it in. Because, like I've said, Brighton have proven that you can mix it up. You can scout from South America. You can scout from Portugal,
Belgium.
You can make it happen.
Yeah.
Belgium has a lot of quality.
And there's
players.
also the thing of bringing these. Obviously, players in England are desperate to make it, but I think players who come from other countries and come to England and have to now like settle in, I think they're a little more logged in into. Like, their success is almost built on this. Whereas if you don't, you're English and you don't do well here, I can go to
another
Aston
English
Villa
club.
or Burnley will buy me, or this other team buys me. Whereas you have almost like one chance when you come from a different league.
Facts. That's true. We'll talk about the Arsenal game a bit. That game is at 5:30. We'll discuss that game because Granit Xhaka, I believe, will be hype for this game. He has led a good Sunderland resurgence up the table. Nobody expected Sunderland to be doing the type of things they are doing to start the campaign. So we'll touch on that briefly.
But like I said, it's really tight. I think there are at least 5. If you look at the table now, there are at least 5 teams on 18 points. I think there are only 2 points between Man City and Chelsea, who are in 8th. Yeah, it's a very tight thing. So within 2-3 weeks, with back-to-back wins and back-to-back defeats, your place in that mid-table could be looking a lot different. So I think just for now, while I'm excited with how well Sunderland are doing, there are lots of teams on their tail, so they need to keep it up for a bit longer. And possibly losing this weekend against Arsenal, while other teams have a chance to go ahead, is one of those things that might start to tell the difference later on in the season.
I really want to see what type of approach they take to that Arsenal game and what type of approach Arsenal themselves take to that Sunderland game, because will be very telling. So we'll see about that. I wanted to see if I could get you a few transfer gossip, because a lot is happening on the gossip side.
We're almost in January.
A lot. The gossip mill is running. Sandro Tonali is one to look at. He had an interview recently when he was asked about if he would commit his future to Newcastle, and he said he cannot answer that, but rather want to take it year by year. That is a very interesting answer. He says that a lot can change in the season and a lot can change in the year, so he doesn't want to make any commitments that will make. I think he's doing that based on the Isak situation.
How old is he now?
He should be like 25, 26 years now.
But after a club actually had faith in you, keeping you while you were having your betting,
that's a good point.
I mean, what was the alternative?
The alternative,
they rescind his contract, or I don't think
they could have cut his contract, but they would have had to pay him some money.
And they've already paid the transfer fee for him. I don't think once they cut his contract, they still have to.
It will be money down the drain for them, so they'll have to ride it out. I get what you mean.
As well-meaning as it seems, I think it's in their interest to also protect their assets once you've paid for him.
Of course, and you have to look at it both ways. They did so well for him, and nobody can question his contribution to the team on the field of play. That is where he can attempt to pay them back. He's played very well for them since the situation, but it doesn't also mean that he doesn't have ambition as a footballer.
I think
if you look at them and you realize that they are not meeting his ambition, he has the right to say.
I think the point that he makes is also important, the Isak of it all. And I think while Newcastle came out,
it was Ben who made it.
The Isak of it all. I think even though they seem to think they came out like on the good side of the Isak deal, I think they've also shown that if they are unwilling to, and that was a problem that I think City have been able to maneuver quite well. City are it's a Guardiola thing mostly. Yep. Teams like City, PSG, and now Newcastle, they have no reason to sell unless they want to, unless they have personally overspent and are in PSR trouble. Like when they sold. Those twin brothers of theirs, I don't remember their name now, but they've had players. They've sold
PSG.
No, Newcastle.
Longstaff,
the Longstaff.
Sean and Matty.
They sold Jacob Murphy to Aston Villa. Is that?
And also, is it?
No.
They bought.
I think they sold.
Rather, they bought. Ramsey from Villa?
And they bought Ramsey. Yeah, they bought Ramsey from
Anderson to Newcastle
to Forest. That was also another PSR deal.
The so-called Anderson that has been talked about as a Man United target. I don't see where he comes in as a Man United.
Last season he was really good under Nuno. He was one of Nuno's engines in midfield. Anyway, Leverkusen are leading by 6-0. Eric Ten Hag, you have blood on your hands.
You could have been given more time. I don't think.
Talking about Leverkusen, there's also a Dutch-born player of Ghanaian descent in there.
We're everywhere.
Named Ernest Poku. I know you've seen Ernest Poku. Oh no, we have been seeing Ernest Poku is pretty good as well, actually. Winger again, left winger, right winger, forward, Dutch international. I think he's played for the Dutch junior teams already. I will get into that in a bit, but Ernest Poku is one to also look out for. Potential to be on the flight.
On that tangent, then you need to look at Como.
For me right
also
now,
have one.
Now,
there's also a point where it looks like there might be a 30-man squad for the World Cup. That's one of the things that's being discussed. So it would be moving up from 26 to a 30-man.
Coco season for people. Hey, Charlie. Coco season.
Of course, from the way people here do.
I think they are looking at the games people have played.
And it's an expanded World Cup. The number of games that will have to be played in a row with 48 teams.
You know what I've been praying for? I've been hoping and praying that we'll get. If really what the Black Stars need, I think the Black Star needs beefing up in the middle of the park. So with all these guys, which one of them would just
be a DM or a
CM? Kevin Prince Boateng, the way he popped up.
You're not impressed with Kwesi Sibo?
No. No. The man is not even playing regularly at his club side. He's a squad player. You can have him.
We can take him along, but not
he's
as a bang-on starter.
No, come on, man. You know, I think he can easily be bypassed, and once he's bypassed, you saw the brutal tackle he gave the other day. I was against Mali or whatever that gave him that unfortunate yellow card. We need to have somebody closer to Thomas Partey that can also believe in his ability and then begin to dictate the tempo of games. Because Partey is not getting younger.
Yeah.
I watched him last week, very brilliant in that Villarreal, I think 4-0 win of I think Villacano or so.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's tournament football. A Tamuka will be playing every 2 days. Now, if you're playing every 2 days, recovery becomes a problem.
Yeah.
And to the players that are aging, you need to manage their training section and the intensity of their training. And if he doesn't recover well and you ask him to go and do the job in 2 days' time, repeat it at the same intensity, he slows down.
Yeah.
I mean,
And if you look at our team as we speak now, Elisha Owusu is a no-go area. He's not bossing the midfield against any team in the World Cup. He's not.
What about Caleb Iwinchi? You're not. I mean,
No,
he's been
man.
played.
No, that boy is too.
The Nozalan boy?
He's too much in the haste, in the rush.
I mean, I think that's because he was being played out of position as a fullback. I don't
And
know
I'm
if
saying,
maybe.
well, even in midfield,
He's a
he's too
DM.
much. He's too much in the rush. How many DMs or midfielder do you see to be that?
The midfielders, the guy we should have gotten is the guy we goofed and we lost him to Cote d'Ivoire, Mohamed Diomande.
Yeah,
Diomande.
That's the guy.
That's
That's the
the
guy.
guy.
Left-footed.
left-footed.
DM
very
can play as
calm,
an AMC.
yeah,
He's so versatile, so good. Can score, can tackle, can intercept.
can control.
We
It's-
lost-
it's
we
about
lost him.
control. Is it
That
in
guy's
the
so
World
good.
Cup? If you look at the teams that have done very well, we were able to do so well in 2010 because with all our pace, we had Pablo Aimar and Tunanan. When the ball got to him, he could calm it down, go square
They don't
to
have to
our
do it all.
fullbacks, and then go and receive and pass it forward.
Can tackle, can
Don't
intercept.
forget, most people tend to forget Michael Jackson didn't play in that World Cup. Everything we did, every good thing we did in the
Ghana was
midfield,
phenomenal.
Antonana was the base. He was more or less the focal point.
Yeah.
He made Kevin Prince Boateng and Kodwa Samoa very better because we had
Pablo.
Pablo a 4-3-3.
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie! Right now, when you look at Elisha Owusu, the man cannot even pass, let alone intercept to decide when to pass and then execute the pass.
Charlie, there's a guy on YouTube saying his name is SLS. He says Leighton Baines is the reason he's an Everton fan. Was one of the best dead ball specialists in the league. We paid 24 mil for Barry. It was Devlin signing that was in the region of 40. Okay, so that's a proper Everton fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the points you're making about.
You
Eli.
see?
So we need to find it.
We need to find it
We need to
because
find CMs for
You
the
cannot
World
depend on Salis.
Cup. Yeah.
Who else? The boy, Abu Boy. Again, come on. The
Mohamed
quality-
Francis Abu.
Yeah, the quality is a bit on the downside. You can have him with his adrenaline level pumping up. You
Francis
can have
Abu,
him
he's
to
an
go and do-
attacking midfielder.
Yes,
He's not.
You
He's
understand?
not a CM.
and
proper
we
CM.
need somebody who will tackle in the midfield, and when he wins the ball, he can also pass the ball. If you look at what Sibu and Co are doing, when they win the ball, to pass the ball for it, they need to go through Thomas Partey. With that cannot be our way out. Allow Partey to enjoy. He should be able to receive the ball,
Absolutely.
but everybody in and around him should be able to pass the ball forward. That is why some of us are concerned with our defenders. If a good coach were to analyze the Black Stars, he would force them to get Jiku and Salisu to pass the ball forward. If I'm to play against the Black Stars, I block the channel to Thomas Partey, or I put somebody in and around
that
him.
would mean our defenders
Who
will make a
have to
lot of
pass.
mistakes.
They will have to pass the ball, which they cannot do. They can't pass the ball forward. You understand? So there will be a lot of turnovers, and that's going to come back to put the team under pressure. And if we are unable to defend, we concede. So I think the Black Star technical handlers, they should be looking.
It
at
should be their
somebody
job between now and the World Cup.
no more to get somebody who will be able to control and then pass the ball. In 2010,
Good
look,
stuff.
in 2006, we had Michael Eisen
Yeah.
and Suleiman Tari. What most people don't go, Suleiman Tari in 2006, he was not playing as a left winger. He was closer to Michael Eisen in midfield. Okay, because at the time we had Aminu Dramani and then Otuado and then those guys on the floor. In 2010, there was Antonanda, there was Kevin Spring Boateng, and then there was what Kudwa
Kudwa
Asamoah.
Samoa.
Okay. Or in midfield.
That quick.
Kudwa
And
Samoa.
Prince Tego and then Andre on the flanks and the baby jet.
Prince bicycle kick
Tego.
Tego.
You understand? Even when we went to Brazil, there was this there was Ajiman Bedu
Yeah.
and this boy Rabiu.
Rabiu Mohammed.
We need somebody like Rabi.
Tell you, we've had players before.
We need somebody.
Even Efri Aqua in his prime was
In
a
his-
really good industrial CM to
Look at
have.
when we had Wakaso and the Free Aqua. They were both rugged, but they could pass,
They could pass the
forward.
ball. Yep.
Now we're Muti, John. What is the name?
Salis.
No, Salis and this the one that Otuado is overly obsessed about. Elisha Wusu. They can't pass the ball. Square passes. Oh, I can do square passes all day. Take and pass it. Don't just go back and go flank. Any midfielder at all can do it. And if you watch them play, when for them to pass the ball forward, he has to go to Thomas Partey. So look, that is one of the things I'll be looking forward to seeing in our game against Japan and Korea. If I'm the head coach, I'm taking Thomas Partey to those games. I'm not taking him because there's nothing to
Test out the game.
There's nothing to teach him. So let's hold him on and let's see what the others will do in his absence. Ghanaians will not talk if you don't take Thomas Partey. All you need to do is to come to the press conference and say, look, I don't need him. He's a sure banker for the World Cup. I want to see how this team will look without him.
Yeah.
Especially in the middle of the pack. Can we control games? Yeah. In his absence, we've not been able to control. You see, as a coach going to a major tournament like the World Cup, you should be prepared for almost everything. Because one thing that will not be accepted is those flimsy excuses that will say, because this man was not there, that's why it was this, that's what. Nobody's going to accept that. Nobody's going to accept that.
Let me tell you a few more things going on in the transfer gossip corridor. A few will interest you. Now, Napoli, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, have made contact with United over Kobe Meno. They want to take Meno away on loan, and according to reports that there's some traction in that situation. I'm sure Meno's talked to McTominay. McSaw says,
I think,
"Guy, come to Naples."
I think what is happening is this. I think what is happening is this. The ball wants to play. The system being played by Amorim is a very difficult system for him to fit into. And unfortunately,
surprisingly, Conte plays 3-back-2. So he's been less rigid
Conte
with
don't
it.
play with two number 10s.
Yeah.
That's the
He
difference.
plays with two DMs.
Yeah. But Amorim
But
plays with two DMs and two number 10s. In the case of Kobe Meno, I think I think the boy himself has not helped himself out of late. Whenever he's been thrown in there with 20 minutes, if he was not in the team today, he got a knock in training on Thursday, so that meant that he couldn't travel with the team.
Yeah.
And I understand where he's coming from. He came onto the scene from the youth team into the United, so that he played very well, won the FA Cup with United, went to the World Cup to the Euros with England, sat on the bench. People crumbled that he be introduced. He came on, he played very well. He played all the way through to the final. Then at the season where he was at the beginning of the season, he got injured. He didn't come back. Ten Hag got sacked. Amorim came in. He was still injured. Now Amorim had to do some adjustment. But I listened to Amorim. He spoke about him. He said, look, Kobe is training very well, and truth be told, he deserves to play. But here's the situation where Man United are playing only one game in a week. And it is going to be a problem for every coach to keep every player happy. But also what United will also not do is to let him go and not bring a replacement in. Because you should be prepared for injuries and stuff. I think Man United are going to have a serious push for top 4. Because at the business end of the season, those teams that will be competing for top 4, most of them will be in Europe. This is just game number 11. After game number 20, 22, 24, 26, then those in Europe will begin to feel the strain of playing 2-3 games
a week.
So you, the team, playing only one game a week. That is where, if you are on top, you are pushing, you are in and among the mix, you can push for that Champions League spot.
Well, according to the reports here, AS Roma are also keeping an eye on him.
Yes.
So it looks like he has.
They are all ready to take him up on loan. Because Man United are not ready to sell. Amorim, after listening to him, still believe that he's a player who is not yet the finished product. He like him. And he's
that's a goal.
We have a second goal.
Sorry, coach.
We have a second goal. Everton have scored a second, and it is coach's good friend Drewsbury Hall. Drewsbury Hall looks like a senator. He doesn't look like somebody
offside.
And oh man, after celebrating, I hate offsides in VR, man. Oh, look at you, so disappointed. I don't know if they are going to review this, but
they'll definitely review it, but I'm not.
Look to me like, let's see this again. So ball whipped in from the left. Who's offside?
I think the black guy was offside.
Barry.
Yeah, and he virtually obstructed the
goalkeeper.
No, he even prevented the Fulham defender from clearing the ball.
This guy
Score.
you let other people to score. Oh man. Anyway, so that's the story of the game. So it's still 1-0 advantage Everton. 53 minutes played. It's 56 minutes played between West Ham and Burnley. It's also 1-1 over there. More transfer gossip for you. So
just on the Napoli thing, I noticed the same thing with Tuchel when he went back to Bayern the first time. I mean, now he's England manager, so it all makes sense. There's this obsession slightly with English Premier League players, or like
revitalizing.
Yeah, careers,
and it's worked at Roma as well.
It worked really well at Roma. They had Smalling. They had
Abraham was really good.
There.
Smalling had a rebirth.
Even at Napoli now, their midfield is Anguissa, who was at Fulham. They have Billy Gilmore, who is from Brighton.
Facts.
They have McTominay. And
so as for Napoli, they've understood the transfer of English players from the Premier League.
They've also realized that like there's this hype in the Premier League where you are either really good or you are really bad, and
there's a middle ground.
They
understand.
There's a middle ground where if you tactically analyze, you put them in a different system. Like maybe McTominay is not a number 6. Maybe you try and use him because when he plays for Scotland, he scores more goals. Maybe if you play him further forward, he gets more goals for you. Yeah. And in the Premier League, there's too much. Everyone wants to have a quick take. You get me? And it's yes, McTominay is not good. And then we make up our mind that he's not good. So he can never be good. Yes. So now he has to.
No, it's true. We never room for any middle ground. Coach, you're going to say something about that.
Yeah, I was going to say something that say that is it an admission, therefore, that the English league is far better than the Italian league.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the quality is there, but that's also it's an effect, like we're saying, it's an effect of the money that's spent. If you are spending 30-40 million on your backup players, and these people are having to recruit from the academy constantly, at some point, what you have.
And you and I can agree that if you look at Italy, once upon a time, AC Milan would parade a lineup of 8 stars, and only 3 of them would be like non-stars. Like
that 2005 lineup against Liverpool.
Look, if Juventus paraded like a lineup back then, they have Nedved, they have Trezeguet, they have Camoranesi. Like that's the kind of lineup they were putting out there. Inter Milan will put up a lineup, and there's Christian Kivu, there's Alvaro Recoba, there's Christian Vieri. Like
Stankovic,
there were stars everywhere, like across. Even Lazio and Fiorentina had enough stars to go around. So I don't know. It's just one of them things. So more rumors say that Spurs are open to bringing Ivan Toney in January. Yes, from the Saudi Pro League on loan.
He's getting 100 million for 2 years, 50 million per year.
No, I think they have genuine goal scoring fears.
And then some of the strikers will have to go because you cannot have Kolomwani.
Yeah.
You cannot have Richarlison. You cannot have Solanke. You cannot have the boy from Bayern.
I think they want to move Solanke on.
Well, Solanke they want to, but they pay 60 million for him.
Look at your player.
That's the.
He's hurt himself.
He was trying
Looks
to
like he has pulled his shoulder
or something.
Oh man, been very busy all game.
Had a very active game. Yeah, very.
Done nothing. Wait, but do you like Ivan Toney coming to Spurs, or do you think
I mean,
they can make it happen?
like I said, his contract 50 million for a year, so in 2 years, 100 million. That's good money. Bag a few bands, come back and play at top level at 28, around there. I think it's a good move for him. Whether he's,
you say he's 28?
I think he should be.
He's 29.
29 now. Okay, so he's 29 now. He's not too old. That's
soon
what I'm
to
saying.
be 30.
Yeah.
But he's very slow to.
But I don't think his game was really.
I don't think his game was ever on.
Yeah, he's a target man. So
to be fair, he was born in March, so he'll be 30 next year. He turned 29 this year. I mean, but we're in November, so it is almost 30.
Almost there. It's still soon to be 30. Either which ways you look at it. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm just seeing that the Thomas Frank link makes sense.
It does.
Having worked together at Brentford.
He worked with Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank is at Spurs now. Frank feels like he could bring Toney if they can convince him to pay that kind of like Spurs to pay that kind of money is another problem because
Why then? I don't think they're matching his salary.
No. I said even if it's on loan, I don't think. Where's he now? Ali. I don't think Al Ali will agree to pay 100% of his salary while he goes off to play for Spurs. They'll have to agree to at least pay half of the money, and I don't know. That's a lot of money still to pay, even if it's 50%.
Souček
Scored a winner.
Yeah, Souček always has like the looks of a guy who can give you a winner whenever he comes off the. This is what he should be doing, honestly. Coming off the bench, 70 minutes played, 60 minutes played. He comes on.
But this is an unfair comparison. But he's just like a much slower Bellingham in the win.
Bellingham does way more technical.
I mean, obviously,
Bellingham is way more active.
Yeah, but he's not a slow player.
Yeah, Bellingham is way more active.
He's talking about Souček.
Jude, I
talking about Souček.
In fact, Jude gets overlooked in a lot of the dirty 50-50
He
work.
covers a lot of ground.
Don't do that, man.
He covers a lot of ground. And for me,
I mean, no, I just think it's similar to the way sometimes when people talk about Lampard, it's not like I'm trying to discredit every other thing he did in the midfield.
Lampard is the most underrated footballer of all time, probably the most disrespected as well. I've never seen any footballer with Lampard's numbers who gets talked about like the way Lampard gets talked about. I don't know why, but there are a lot of midfielders I will not place before him. I don't care if people want to rate it Lampard, absolutely one of the all-time
You pick
greats.
Lampard over Scholes.
I don't want to start a debate here, but I don't want to start a debate, but
I think one is
debatable.
that the two of them have got good goal scoring instinct. The one is more accustomed to scoring goals. That's Lampard. But Paul Scholes is the complete.
Lampard was more number 10. Scholes
Scholes
was more.
like-
I mean, he will
number
control.
6. Number 6.
I listened to
long passes.
I listened to Patrice Evra. I happened to chance upon one of his interviews and they say everything. Ferguson used to tell them, give the ball to Scholesy. Scholesy controls the game. And there was a day that they were refusing to do that, and then Fergie got pissed off in the dressing room. I told you to give the
ball to Scholesy.
ball to Scholesy. Scholesy controls the game. I said, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You see, those things are always going to split heads. I heard Xavi say that Scholes is his favorite
Of course.
number 6.
So is it for the technicians?
Yeah.
They will look at Scholes and say, look, if there's any player I want to play with
Yeah.
to make the game a bit and it's simple for me, Scholes.
I'd probably take Lampard. I like Lampard. I feel like he always made things very simple for himself. Like he doesn't like touch the ball 3-4 times even. Like if the ball comes, he knows he'll just give the ball space, touch the ball once, pass, move. Like he's so underrated in the way he do things. I don't think he gets appreciated enough for me. People look at him like he was just a goal scoring midfielder, but
I think that was the mistake England did.
Yeah, I was about
They should have played
way more
him.
than that.
They should have played him as a number 10 behind Michael Owen and play Scholes in midfield.
Yeah.
Rather they were playing him.
I
And
mean,
they were
trying to
he
get
and Scholes to alternate in the diamond with Scholes playing on the left.
I mean, their problem is they had 4 really good midfielders. So
Yes,
what?
that's what
Gerrard, Beckham, Scholes, and Lampard.
Beckham was on the
And
right.
no, that's what I'm saying. So Beckham is on the right.
Those three guys.
And therefore they had to play Scholes on the left because Beckham is on the right now.
and that
Scholes
was
would have
wrong.
to be on the left, and
that
they were
was
playing
what
Gerrard
cost
and
them.
Lampard through the
Because
middle.
you remember that was the worst. Because in the major tournament, even in that 2002 World Cup, prior to their exit against Brazil, when the interviews were done in the Brazilian camp, which English player will you highlight to be there? He said, look, you had the likes of Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, all of them saying that there's only one English player who walked into the Brazilian team, and when they were asked, they all mentioned Paul Scholes, and then only for England to come, and then they were asking Paul Scholes to play out left.
No, I mean, but the thing is, out of the 3 of them, he's slightly more mobile. I can't imagine Gerrard or Lampard there.
No, Gerrard and Lampard
Then you'd have had to
were
bench
not
one.
controllers.
Yeah.
So if you are smart in your job, you put the controller. It's like Andre Pirlo. He's a controller.
Yeah.
So he should be in the middle of the pitch. You
Charlie.
don't ask him to go wide.
Well,
Whilst Gerrard and Lampard stays in the middle.
I have news for you. Bayern Munich are on the verge of losing their first game of the season, and they are losing to Union Berlin. It's the 94th minute.
A derby.
A car de
They
yes,
just
that's a derby,
hit.
actually.
I think they just hit. I think they just scored level. But please check
Hold
that for
on.
me.
Let me just get that for you. Okay, so something funny is going on. They just removed the goal. the Union Berlin goal. I'm not sure. So it's two. It says 2-2 here now. I have to wait to give you an update. I'm not sure. That's a little confusing.
So it looks like Harry Kane got an equalizer in the 90th minute. That's what it's saying here.
90 plus 3.
Yeah.
Harry Kane scores goals.
But I had 3-2 initially on my board.
Yeah, I think maybe they scored, but then the goal was disallowed.
So it's 2-2 so far. Interesting. I thought Bayern were on the verge of losing.
I mean, but they are not winning a game, which is the first time it hasn't happened this season in 17 games. So
95 minutes played now.
That's
Looks like we'll ride this one out.
Maybe the hangover from being stretched by PSG midweek.
yeah. I mean,
Really
because
big.
they had to
10v11.
hold them down
10
for
v 11
for the whole game.
These are things that are proven scientifically.
Oh no, I mean like I said, they've won every game they played in the season, either in the league or in the Champions
Yes, that's
League.
what I'm saying.
So
That
I feel like
in midweek they've had a very difficult
Good
game.
game, yeah.
They had to play about some substantial minute of the game with 10 men.
Yep.
So they were overworked, and we all saw that they virtually had to dig deep just to keep that 2-1 lead, which eventually they came out with. So at the end of the day, a chunk of the same team that played on Wednesday, I'm very certain is in the game today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are not robots; these are human beings. So at the time, it will definitely begin to show up, especially when the opposing team you are playing against are playing the thing at a certain tempo, intensity that requires that you put in a bit more effort. And this is a derby game, I agree.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the intensity.
Yep.
So I understand what is
To
happening.
be fair, I'm actually looking to Bayern squad right now, and I'm not impressed with their bench at all. It's I mean, besides Pavlovic and maybe Nicholas Jackson, I don't think I'd like beyond their first team, because their first team looks okay. It looks quite good, I think, with the midfield that they have, but they don't have enough depth in the team. So I can understand when coach is saying that based on how much they have to exert themselves in the Champions League, they may struggle to replicate that over the weekend.
Anyway, still my point stands. Lampard, the most underrated midfielder of all time. Anyway, let's go to let me go. Yeah, Charlie, Frankie. Super.
Some people didn't win a league title and it held them back for the rest of their life.
Super Frankie.
No, but no.
Don't go there.
There's a reason why Gerrard has been
I
kept
didn't
out
mention-
of the
I didn't-
conversation. I will mention his name.
Don't do that. Anyway, let me go to Sunderland versus Arsenal. Let's check our preview of that game. It's lineups are out for that one. Sunderland are playing, I believe, at the Stadium of Light. Craig Pawson. Charlie, another one. Craig Pawson will be at the heart of the game today. He will be the match official. Very controversial referee. Likes his yellow cards a lot. So possibly we will see a lot of bookings in this game. When you look at lineups for this one, for Sunderland, the home team, Roofs is in post for them. They play a back five of Mandava, Getrauda, Ballard, Mukiele, and Hume. That's a very interesting formation because naturally Getrauda and Mukiele are fullbacks. So very interesting what they are doing here. In the middle, they have Traore, Shaka, and Sadiki. And then Isidore is the one leading the line. When you go to Arsenal, David Raya is the man imposed for them. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori. This looks like Arsenal's stable back line now. I didn't think Calafiori would be playing left back a lot, but it looks like that's a settled place now. Zubimendi will anchor the midfield and will be flanked on both sides by Declan Rice and Ebere Eze. So I think they are doing what should be a anchor man or register in Zubimendi. Rice should be like a box to box, and Eze should probably be an advanced playmaker. And then when you go up top, Trossard, Merino, Saka. We know what Merino is doing there already. False nine or so it seems. Sedi, let me take your thoughts on. Yeah, what else should I say? Let me take your thoughts on those lineups there. Arsenal away from home, pretty strong lineup there, just lacking a natural striker. When you look at the bench, no Yorkeres on the bench, so I think he's
still
definitely injured. So he will not be involved at all at any level in this game. They don't have a lot of firepower on the bench. I'm just noticing all of a sudden. So they have Andre Harriman and Nose. I haven't seen him even play. Max Doman. I have liked Doman when I've seen him play. Very creative midfielder. Skelly, Miles Lewis, Ethan Nwaneri, Christian Norgard, Piero Hincapi, and then they have Ben White. Also Christian Mosquera. They have 3 centre backs on their bench. 3 centre backs, 1 defensive midfielder, 1 fullback. Charlie, this is not looking good. All of a sudden, they don't look like they have anybody apart from when Gyökeres is out.
No, but I feel that taking out Gyökeres means that you even don't even see the man, what's his name, Kai Havertz, because he has disappeared.
Okay, so Havertz is injured.
Oh, he has disappeared from the team. He has literally disappeared from the team.
He'll be back from injury soon.
No, but when he even comes back from injury,
just on that, I think most of their injuries are in attacking position. So with Havertz is injured, Madueke, Odegaard, Gyökeres, Martinelli. These are all Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, I forgot about him.
That is a serious hospital.
And that's you hear me. So all these attacking players, who most of them who you arguably would say would go straight into the starting lineup.
Yeah.
I was worried about Trossard. I didn't think he'd get time to play this season based on the players they had been signing.
He wanted to leave. In fact, he was agitated about his playing time and wanted to leave. But looks like there's so much football to go around.
I don't know if it's an Arteta thing, just on that, because some of these are hamstring. I mean, knee injuries. It seems to be mostly knee injuries, but it seems like there's a pattern with the way Arteta trains, and I understand that his thinking was, if we sign more players, when players get injured, we can still have a good team. Because last season, that's what held them back.
In fact, if you look at them, that's what they've done.
Yeah, and it's working. It's working. They have so many players that even when players are injured, they can switch. He's never been in a position where he's had 3 strikers on the bench like Havertz, Jesus, and Gyökeres, and he has to pick one. He's always seems to be rotating between them.
And like coach always says, Arteta has gotten to the point where he doesn't have to score more than 1 goal to win a match. And so he looks at a game like this and says that it's Sunderland. I can score 1 game. I can shut up shop and win this game. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3-0. It doesn't have to be pretty. But I don't know. You look skeptical. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, like I said, Arsenal. This is not the Arsenal I'm worried about. It's when the pressure is on. This Arsenal, they'll win games. Let them enjoy it. There's no mental
when they are
baggage.
Contenders turn up the
when
heat.
you are contenders and it's 2 games away and you need to win because Liverpool is playing after you. This is a good example because they'll be playing against Sunderland and Liverpool are playing City tomorrow. That's an advantage for them because both of the teams behind them are playing each other. So at least they can't both make up the ground on them. But at least in terms of Arsenal, I think it just means that they get to build an advantage. And like I said, we need to see what they are made of now because they've been in a position to win the league at least 2 seasons in a row. And it's never been the starting ball that's been a problem for them. It's finishing.
Never been starting well, always been finishing, especially a couple of seasons ago against Manchester City, even against Liverpool last season. You could put it like that. It was a rocky start for them. They to be fair to Arsenal, I think last season's start especially was very difficult. They had a very notorious fixture list to begin the campaign. They didn't go too well.
They got a lot of red cards.
Red cards, yep. They had like 4 red cards by match day 10, which was crazy.
I mean, the same with Chelsea now. Who are we blaming for the red cards? Maresca, right?
Nobody.
No.
I mean, it's on you.
No. It's not. It's
your bad start is on you. I'm just saying.
It's actually on you, but you can't solely blame the manager. The manager's tactics would also sort of put you in a position where you'll be exposed, but you can't solely blame it on the manager.
Well, for example, if you look at the Delap red card that he called, I mean, what was the sense?
Completely senseless.
Well, the lap zone is different, but I think there was a time
and then
where
there was Nicolas Jackson,
So
always picking up cards for senseless arguments.
You come off the bench and pick up a red card.
Which is crazy because if you get fined, I think if you get 5 yellow cards and you get suspended, the team will fine you. Actually, you have to pay a fine of like a week. You have to like forfeit a week.
It all goes towards like the Christmas birthday party. It's not some
which ways you will still be fined. I don't think anybody likes if you are the one who's paid 5 fines out of the season and somebody's paid just 1. Will you be happy?
Yeah.
That's your money we are jamming at the party. So there's that. So I don't think anybody fancied. Getting fined multiple times. Anyway, the Bayern Union game has ended 2-2. In the end, Bayern dropped points for the first time, like I say, this season. Before that, they had been on a really interesting. People like to jinx things. I saw all kinds of articles about company and how you are taking them to the next level. This, that. No, they've gone to draw. Anyway, that's just right. That's just on the lighter side. I don't think they drew because anybody knows anything about it. Probably just fatigue setting in.
Yeah, but
I think Union have also always been like a really competitive team for Bayern.
They drew, but unfortunately, the team behind them in the table, Leipzig, also lost today. They lost to Hoffenheim 3-1. So that means. Even though they drew and dropped points, they've opened up a 6-point gap. And given how things go for Bayern, we can almost assume that the title will be wrapped up quite soon, which I think is slightly disappointing. Dortmund, so I thought they'd be able to challenge a bit. Well, Leverkusen, they're barely the same team. It's just they've changed all the players and left
the
behind
Bundesliga.
one
And you know
player.
how funny the Bundesliga. If somebody's going to come win the league, it will be a completely different team from all the teams you expect. So there's the time where some season I think Stuttgart came up and won it. Mario Gomez in Stuttgart. I think there was a season where Wolfsburg won it.
And one to Kevin, I think.
Yeah, and then there was a season where Bremen.
And then Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim had their time. Bremen, like, there's always just a weird team coming out of nowhere. Like, Hoffenheim, I think they didn't win the title, but they came close. They had
That's when they were.
they had
coached by
Roberto
the-
Firmino and co.
the current Germany manager, Julian Nagelsmann. So I
Yep.
think he came and he
Yep.
started at Hoffenheim, then he got them
Yeah.
into the Champions
But
League.
I remember the Stuttgart and Bremen teams. Where I think Bremen had one had Diego, right?
Yeah.
Brazilian international Diego. That guy was so good. And then Stuttgart had also a whole bunch of players. Bayer Leverkusen used to be good back in the day, and then they fell off and then came back recently.
So I mean, but like, unless am I mistaken, no team has won it since Klopp's Dortmund, other than Bayern.
No, Leverkusen.
My
have
man
won.
has
Leverkusen,
called
Leverkusen.
Schuchek.
I told you, he has a winner in him.
back.
Charlie, you should give me a prophecy today.
That's it.
So
I
it's
mean-
2-1 advantage West Ham United. Suchek has just given West Ham the lead. Let's just see if we can get a slow-mo of the goal.
Okay, so I think that I got the comparison the wrong way around. I don't think he's like Bellingham. I think he's more like Bellingham, if that makes sense. He has that trait. They share that similar trait. Not necessarily that they are similar types.
I
of
see.
players.
I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
I
it's
see what you're
just,
trying to say.
And I think Tugu was speaking about it, just that sense of goal, even though you're a midfielder.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just
Suchek's always had a good eye
he's
for goal.
always standing somewhere and yeah.
Look at that. Look at
Back
some
post.
scrappy goal. Scrappy goal. Right place at the right time type of stuff. Did well to come back onside, Stayed onside.
That's a really bad save from the keeper. I mean, where's he pointing the ball to?
Goalkeepers, man.
Oh,
Yeah, that's terrible goalkeeping. that's just terrible goalkeeping.
I mean, he's been very fortunate. If you remember last week when after Bowen's own, the one that he ran on cleared on the line before the keeper could save it. I mean,
And Fulham just brought on Adama Traore. Look at him, man.
To replace a substitute. So Munoz came in
And then got injured.
Munez
Yeah.
came in and he got injured and he warmed up literally the entirety of the game, came in and got injured and he has come back.
Very interesting. Anyway, back to us now. Coach, thoughts on this lineup? Are you a little worried for them with Merino as the false now? You think that they are a team that are on the ascendancy? This game shouldn't cause too much problems.
But they did themselves. How many times have they created for their number 9 to be scoring regularly? So that obviously cannot be an issue. They think they can play without the number 9. This is just more or less something that they are used to doing, because from last season, how many times did we not see them play without a recognized number 9 with the same boy playing as a number 9? They did the same thing and they beat almighty Real Madrid in the Champions League over 2 legs. So at the end of the day, it's not something very new to them. I think it's a very solid line up put up there. The goalkeeper, without a doubt, established number 1. The back 4 picks itself. Those guys in the middle, Zubimendi and Declan Rice, pick themselves. And then of course there's Eze. He doesn't know he does not need any form of introduction. His all-round play speaks volumes. And then of course there's Trossard, and who in recent times have been playing very, very good. So it's a very strong team. They are aware that it is a team called Sunderland who just beat Chelsea last week 2-1 at the Bridge away from home. And Sunderland's home form has been very decent. It's a very, very difficult game, but I still do believe that Arsenal has just a bit too more for them, but they have to be very careful though, and they cannot allow Xhaka to run the show, because he's very experienced. He can motivate whilst he's playing. He's coaching the lads in and around him.
And he has a good idea of how Arteta sets his team up.
Exactly. So there's Arsenal, in my view, will need to score first. And don't forget, there's the idea of being the set piece specialist. Well, that set piece can come to the fore again today, and through that they could end up winning the game. So I expect Arsenal to win, especially when Man City play Liverpool tomorrow, anything can happen. You want to put the pressure on those two teams for them to make sure that one person will lose, one person will win the game. And if the two of them were to draw two, it's 2 points gain on them both. And that
already United and Spurs have done them a favor today by dropping points, and so Liverpool City drop points, even bigger feather for them in their cup. So hopefully that can be a thing for them. Your thoughts on the lineups there?
I think this is, like I said, I think this is the best team he can put out given the amount of players he has injured at the moment.
Beto is coming.
Yes.
You need
number 9. They need to go.
You are leading. It's fine. You are leading. So you don't break.
Good.
Because Barry has been. I don't want to use the word. Anyway, he's
same. So same in, same out.
Charlie.
And you look at I want to see how they look when they stand next to each other. Who's taller?
Are you trying to tell me that they've spent close to? Are you trying to tell me that they spent close to 60 million on those two guys?
50 million. So about 50 million. So about
Barry was how much?
He said Barry was about 24 million. If I'm taking the,
but Beto was definitely like above 25. Like
Beto was 30 million euros.
So 25
million pounds.
Who actually scouted?
That's what I was just saying. That's some very.
And my thing I get is, like I was saying, the reason I said single digit striker is I don't think he's ever had an exceptional season. Which is, and it's not like he was young and at an age where it looked like he had too much potential to go on.
I think they bought him from Italy.
They bought him from Udinese. Yeah, he's not good.
I don't know.
He was eligible to play for Portugal, but he quickly switched nationalities because he knew that he plays for Guinea-Bissau now quickly because he knew that he was not even going to carry 8 Portuguese bags to the field. I don't know. He's not better than anybody on that team. I mean, let's be serious. There are people in our Ghana team now who would have made that Portuguese team ahead of Beto, who were Portuguese. Come on. Anyway, I'm serious. That guy, I don't know, man. Sunderland though have had a good.
He's going Beto. Look at where he's running.
Calvin Bassey.
Charlie, that's some match up. Beto versus Bassi. Zuku.
I mean, his record is not that, but I mean, it's 12 goals in 70 Premier League games.
12 in 70.
12 in,
come on, man.
In 70, Beto.
And he's a striker.
In 70.
He's a centre forward.
If you see some of the chances he misses, you'll be just scandalized. I don't know, man. Anyway, wrapping it up
just
here.
Just to touch on the Chelsea game later on. I'm surprised Gabby thought Chelsea are going to lose this match.
Oh, it's very possible
against Wolves.
And you need to add the fact that Wolves are coachless.
Everton have scored. Coquine has.
Finally, Everton have had a couple of disallowed goals today. This should wrap up the game. Fulham have been exceptionally poor in this game. They have offered little to nothing up front in this game. So I think this is just about this is a deserved scoreline. David Moyes composed as always. Look at Calvin. I told you. Let's see. I'll prove my theory right. Let's see the replay of this goal. Calvin Bassey will be in and around the area of guilt.
He's
now watch.
Standing there. Look.
What does it mean?
I think he should have stood on the line.
Look at him.
But he's hiding behind the player.
I think he should have gone to stand on the line.
Oh, Calvin Bassey, man. Looking shocked. Look more bewildered than everybody.
But the Everton goalkeeper, the Fulham goalkeeper too.
He's not good.
He's not good.
No command of his area, nothing. And that's how they consider the first goal too. I don't know, man.
I think the time is due. They need to be looking beyond him.
Yeah.
Because at times the goals he concedes are completely
Leno?
goals. Yeah, Leno.
Yeah.
He's not good.
It's past his prime.
Because if you look at his height,
way past it.
Yeah.
If you look at his height, this is a simple flip over the bar and then a simple save.
Yeah. So 81 minutes played, 2-0. Everton lead Fulham. Couple more minutes to go in that game. When you look up Fulham, West Ham United versus Burnley is also 2-1. Souček gave West Ham the lead not too long ago. They have 5 minutes to play in their game. You're talking about Chelsea Wolves.
Yeah. I was saying that I think Chelsea. I get that Wolves are in a bad run now, but this is a team that has already lost 5 games.
We have a red card coming.
No, it's a yellow.
Okay, so it looks like a lot of theatrics there. Who is that? Who's that on the ground doing that?
Diouf.
Okay, so Kyle Walker getting booked there. I thought it was a red card for a second. Please make your point.
Yeah, no. So Wolves lost 5 games in a row. They drew twice, and then they've lost 3 in a row. This is not a good team, and I'd be surprised if a team like Chelsea, who are like for the second season in a row, they are crumbling at the mention of the name title contenders. It seems, and I think that they need to. Regardless of how difficult the game is or they've changed their manager, this is a team that's competing for the title that's going up against a team that's last and hasn't won a game this season. I'd expect them to win it. I think they are. I'm still not getting into this whole Palmer absence thing. I think they've bought too many players for them to still be hung up on this one. Yes, yeah. The problem is this Moneyball system where it's like we sign this really highly rated young player and then we bring him near Chelsea and then later on we can sell him for a profit. I think it's only good one to keep the quality coming in constantly. And at least initially when I saw their transfer this season, I thought that they had.
And Burnley.
Okay, so Burnley have equalized.
No, West Ham
they have crumbled. Burnley have crumbled beautifully.
Oh, so 3-1 actually. Walker Peters
off the bench.
3-1
on the sheet.
Look at Nuno. So it's showing some expression finally. You know, because the two teams both have claret colors. I was a little confused in there. So Walker Peters scoring the 3rd goal. So that's the security goal for West Ham United. 3-1. Is that Souček?
Hey.
Going through the middle of the park. I think he took this, came back, and then rebound.
Goalkeeper needs.
This goalkeeper.
So Souček has been the man to really flip the game around for his team.
Bro, he's
super sub. Came on.
Was that his goal though? It looked. I would say he took it off the feet of Bowen.
But he scored it.
Look at both players scrambling to get a tap in. Very interesting there.
I mean, good for Nuno. I think this is back-to-back wins, and I think for a manager, that's
Big
a sign.
boost.
One win can look like a blip, but once you get back-to-back wins, it can feel
6
like
points is
you've
crazy.
changed. And now, so with this goal, they go level on goal difference with Burnley as well. I think so. With one more goal, they would go above Burnley out of the relegation zone. Burnley are probably still just above them on name, just name.
Fulham have been atrocious today, though. Just to put it out there, they literally came to. I don't know what stage they're
And that's what I'm saying. So like that's 4 defeats out of 5 now for them, and they are also one of those teams that are playing with they are too good to get relegated. But then if there are not enough teams that are worse than you might end up circling the drain.
This one here, yes. Let me start from the bottom. Let me go to my message box as we do the wrap up. So Felix Tete from Community 25 says, "You guys are doing great. Tomorrow, Man City will win. Liverpool to lose. Pep Guardiola will be sacked." I don't know what you mean. So Man City will win. Okay, I'm not sure what you're saying anymore. It says tomorrow Man City will win. If City lose, Pep will be sacked. Okay. Oluman says that Oluman Casemiro played 72 minutes. Just come on and help for 18 and you couldn't. Ugarte must be sold in January. King Selassie from Adenta. This one here says, imagine having Partey Lavia in midfield, but even if Lavia decides to switch, unless fasting and prayers. Charlie, you're right about that.
I don't know if you saw about Lavia got injured again.
Oh.
After he came on for 5
Champions
minutes.
League?
Yeah, the Champions League.
The game just started.
Less than 5 minutes. And
The first time he tracked back, he was going to give a pass.
I was telling
He
you
got into a little. Let's get the ball.
I used to tell people that there are players who can get injured in their sleep. Like they can be going to the washroom and can get injured. Daniel Sturridge used to be one of them.
Yeah.
Owen Hargreaves,
True.
another one. This guy is in that category.
No, I think he's really.
Romeo Lavia is in that category.
he relapsed from one injury that he think he suffered since he came to Chelsea. Because I don't think his fitness was this bad at Southampton before.
It was there, but it was bad. It just wasn't this. It's gotten worse at Chelsea. It's gotten worse at Chelsea. I just. Because at Southampton we used to actually see him a couple of times play football.
Disappear.
Like you see, like
That's
some
what I'm saying,
5
like they
games.
paid 50 million for him, over 50 million. I'd be surprised if he
EPL experience.
58 million. 58 million.
That EPL experience.
And he's been one of those guys whose ceiling has always been very like touted, like he has a very high potential to do this and that. So as for Romeo Lavia, Charlie, he's one of those guys, the injury people. Anyway, Priest from McCarthy Hill says Arsenal have been scoring from set pieces for more than 3 seasons now. Is coach saying that teams have been bad all those seasons? Just applaud Arsenal's brilliance in these situations.
At times when we talk, you have to listen.
You know, you see, as for these,
I
don't like splitting hairs over these because people will always interpret them differently.
But I think, let me just settle the set piece argument. Okay, no one has said set pieces are bad. If you actually know the EPL, the first goal ever scored in the EPL was a set piece. In 1992, it was a set piece. So they are just continuing tradition. So no one has said it is a bad thing.
We've given
If
Arsenal
you are
their
the
flowers.
coach of the, if you play, put yourself in the position where your team is always conceding from set pieces. Would you like it?
No.
You won't.
This one here says that Barry hasn't had a shot on target since the league started. With that message. But this one here, okay, I think that's just about it really. On the message side,
Yeah, you baby, I call baby. Dewsbury Hall.
oh Charlie,
Chelsea spent the money, couldn't bring anything good from him.
yeah,
He's now a champion player at Everton.
this kind of players, this is their type of
This
team.
is their type of
This
team.
is the type of team this will be.
Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah.
They said it's a low budget KDH.
Okay, no,
Well, I know, but he was really quite highly rated at Leicester City. I don't know whether the move to Chelsea makes
He
sense.
was,
And that's the
actually.
thing I keep saying about Chelsea. They just keep signing these at the same type level quality players because they know that they can sell them on for money. Someone like Dewsbury Hall, they made a profit of him,
Yeah.
which is
But-
crazy. He barely played.
But it doesn't work all the time. Do you remember Drinkwater?
Oh no, Drinkwater was an extreme case. Drinkwater was an extreme case. I mean, they lost money on Kepa too. They paid about 70 million for Kepa and they let him go for free last.
For him,
Yeah.
his case is more than exceptional.
Kepa. Kepa has had the most iconic moment was that
Aretha
Bala.
Bala.
that iconic moment with Mauricio Sarri.
I won't-
Oh,
I won't
Kepa.
come.
No, I'm not coming off.
I'm not coming off. No.
Oh, man, not a goalkeeper. Mauricio
And he
Sarri.
saved the penalty too.
He did. He's a very interesting goalkeeper. Kepa has been. He's at what? AFC Bournemouth.
No,
now?
he's at Arsenal. He's their second goalkeeper.
Oh,
now.
he moved to Arsenal. He was at Bournemouth last
Yeah,
season.
the Bournemouth
Yeah,
last
yeah.
season and then they
That- that's-
Playing
that's
second
not
fiddle
what
to
we
David Raya. Interesting. Both Spanish goalkeepers.
I'm surprised Ramsdale chose to go to Newcastle and then play second fiddle to Nick Pope. I don't know if... I mean, he has a better chance of getting into that team than Arsenal. I think Arteta made it quite clear. Which is unfortunate because when he was losing his position, Arteta was like, this is just a rotation. I'm just trying out my
He was lying to everybody.
my keepers.
We knew he was lying.
Mm.
From the jump, we knew he was lying. Anyway, let me do a final sweep.
Just
of Europe,
just on Frank Lampard, Coventry just got a late winner, Nathan Clark, so they stay top of the championship. I'm impressed with what he's doing at that level so far. He made the championship final the first time. He lost to Leeds when I think Bielsa was at Leeds. So he at that level, it seems like he's able to. And it comes down to that thing I was saying. The players are like they're slightly starstruck when they see you. Like that's Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard is my coach. And on Premier League, 300k players, they're like, that's Frank Lampard. Like okay, like
don't care.
me too. Like I don't need
yeah.
to. And it has a different effect on younger players. So it's good to see him. And I think Thomas Asante is still top scorer in the league, so he's doing quite well there.
Thomas Asante is cooking. We hope to see his name on the sheet, and we hope to see his form continue when we make that trip to the World Cup. So Sevilla are playing Osasuna now. 82 minutes played, 1-0. Sevilla lead in that game. The Bundesliga games have all ended. Hoffenheim whooping Leipzig by 3-0. HSV and Dortmund played out a 1-1 draw, and then Leverkusen Heidenheim finished 6-0 in favor of Leverkusen. When you go to Serie A, both games ended goalless. Como Cagliari goalless, Lecce and Hellas Verona also ending goalless. Juventus play Torino in the next couple of minutes. AC Milan play Parma later on. Marseille are up against Stade Brest. It's 2-0 in that game. No prizes for guessing who scored again. So there's Gomez, Alejandro Gomez, I want to believe. Angel Gomez, scored, and then Mason Greenwood also on the score sheet. Cooking. Mason Greenwood. Somebody's going to buy Mason Greenwood. So some big team will buy Mason Greenwood.
I was hearing word of Atletico. Maybe Simeone was thinking of.
Man United have a 50%
sell-on fee.
Sell-on clause.
That's a nice piece of business.
Of course, he's the best academic player to have
by a distance. It's a shame.
It's so unfortunate that what happened. You imagine him in this. They should have.
And after that, they were saying
they should have let sleeping dogs lie.
No. You see, it was the society that crucified him.
Yeah.
Man United had done everything
impossible.
Ten Hag had done everything to bring him back.
True.
And then the society just picked
and the thing that if I'm right about this, I think the person with who he had the problem with, he and the person are still together.
Legally married.
They lived
in fact, that was the underpinning to which Ten Hag was trying to find a way back into the team for him.
So it's 2-2.
What?
3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. Burnley have gotten a go back. I think they are gonna probably review that. I don't know what's going on there. It's like a little review over there.
Virtually the last kick of the game. Interesting.
I don't know why they're making. Wow.
Oh, what's happened?
He turned him inside out. Nothing happened. He turned him inside out and he broke his ankles.
Young Suchek.
Look at this goalkeeper.
He's saying he saved that. I don't think he held on to that.
No. To think of it that Areola played with the likes of Pogba when they were coming.
Areola has fallen off. That's why he used to be a really good goalkeeper. He
played
just
for
fallen
PSG.
off. In fact, when he was coming up as a young, he was really highly rated.
Wow.
In fact, his fall off is just the last 3 seasons. It's not been like colossal or way before. It's just the last 3 seasons. I don't know what's going on with him. It's just like Melia. Melia was really good. All of a sudden, just fell off. Left-footed goalkeeper, really good under what's his name? That Argentine
Bielsa.
Yeah, Marcelo Bielsa, and then I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, 3-2 is how this one will end. Jack Grealish sprinting for his life. 2-0 is how that game will end as well. It's 2 minutes to go. The West Ham game should have ended by now because they've played more time than we expected them to play. So that's how we are wrapping it up here. Thank you very much, Coach Christopher Nimley. Thank you very much, setting up, and also thank you to you, Manuel Kwache. Bless up to all of you guys for making a date to do this with us here on Twitter, on YouTube, on radio, and also on TV. I am Benjamin Nketiah. Tomorrow we'll be back again with the Republic of Football. We have a big game for you in Manchester City, Liverpool, so that should be juicy to break down. Until then, we'll catch you.